everybody. Well, wait, let me look. The missus made that background. Everybody had to see that wonderful row of brains that the missus made off the logos. Hey, but hey, Dad Man Walking 55. Wait, incoming. Huh, wait, so I did it again. What is? All right, that's it. Enough of acking, everybody. How are y'all tonight? Good to have you, Dad Man Walking 55 here with you tonight. We are excited about this one. It was a movie that was so great. I even watched it again tonight because, hey, you pick up stuff every time you watch it. That's what's the beauty of some of these good old classic corny movies, we say. And actually, folks, I think we're going to learn some things about this movie tonight. At least one thing that I never knew until I was just told about it recently, which, is really impressive coming from these type of movies. You expect to be shallow, just stupid, goofy, funny, and but really was a wonderful thing we have to see tonight. So, but hey, sit back, relax, get your popcorn. If you got a date, cuddle up to them, have some fun, have some laughs. Just don't be like the people in the trailer with the Martians looking in the window with whatever the Stand Alive music or whatever the hell that was, But folks, welcome to another episode where we got some great guests here. I am going to talk to you in the chat first, but let me bring in the number 2 guy around here for talking, yapping, the court jester, as we call him so much and so often. I don't know why he's new. He was original, unique, and didn't need to be replicated. Or is he a replicant or not a replicant? You decide tonight. It's Hungry.
Hello, and let's
start another controversy in the middle of it. Are you a replicant or not?
I'm never touching that debate for the rest of my life, ever. But it's funny you call me the court jester, because this is one of the few movies that Tim Burton did when he was trying to be funny that I actually consider funny. I laughed at it for reasons different when I was a young man half a lifetime ago, and rewatching it for this show, I laughed for new reasons, a whole bunch of new reasons.
Was he really trying to be funny? I mean, he tries to be funny?
I think Tim Burton in his own mind tries to be funny. And I think a stopped clock tells the right time twice a day.
One of those. Yep.
Yes. And this was a feature. And I'm just going to say this really quickly before we bring on our extra special guest. This was something that was incredibly well suited to him. Incredibly well suited to Mr. Burton because of the original core material, which we'll talk about in a few moments. But please bring on our extra special guest, the Kryptonian Cafe Mistress.
How can I introduce it? People in the chat, don't leave. We're going to introduce you in a second because
you do it better than I do.
All that is Martian for like the miss. How do you like the missus on her little thumbnail? The Martian translator voice. So it's like Mrs. probably like, oh yeah, I think you could say this is that kind of very special guest, Snortopoopas. It is the one, the only, the great, the queen of gardening, food, Kryptonia, and everything else in the world. It's been a while since she's been on a talk stream like this, but hey, she's always around, and you love her, and she's 24 hours of Fortnite. You can't stop her at Fortnite. Almost as addicted as I used to be. It's
24 hours of fun.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to let you say that, and I will leave it there. It's the one, the only. Lisa from YouTube. Lisa.
Ack.
You did that better too.
Thank you for having me. I hate this movie, but it's so bad that I love it.
Oh, we love that. Yes.
This is
Oh,
so
my-
opposite, Lisa, because generally, the positions are, I should rephrase that. I was going to say the positions are reversed, but generally our points of view are inverted on this kind of topic.
Wow,
And
good terminology again, Hungry. I'm getting flashbacks of Team America World Police now, Marionettes. So
Lisa probably liked that film better.
well, we gotta explore what Lisa likes of movies because I think that is so funny. She said that because I'm not surprised she said
Well,
that it's so bad
just
that
so bad that you gotta love it. I mean, it's
so
so
true.
quirky, and I
kind of like
agree.
the missus said to me when she first met me, right? You know, that type of thing.
Well, I don't know anything about that, but it's like Tim Burton. Actually, this is perfect for him because he's so bizarre, and this is
Yes.
bizarre, and
Right.
yeah. So thank you for having me. So
All
It's,
right.
it's bizarre, and
Good chat.
sometimes, just like Tim Burton, it's bizarre, and sometimes it gets a little bit perverted. A little bit.
yeah.
But-
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I think I know what you mean with this show.
Well, we can explore some of that tonight. Who knows? But we got 8 great people here with us tonight. Let's say hello to the chat. Let's say hello to the chat. Going back
Hello,
up to the top. We got Corey Cochran who came in first.
Okay.
Chat.
Hi to all the rest
Sorry,
of you crazy peeps. Yeah, I gotta we're done with this part, I've got to also tell why this stream came about because of you two. And it's Snortopoopas Cubera. Hello, humans and other critters.
Hi, Snorty. Act.
Snorty! Let's
And he-
act the tuna.
Hey, he actually was throwing mushrooms before you even got here, Lisa. He was waiting for you
Yeah.
tonight.
I
So
love 'em.
Lisa throws it. Yes, we all love our polar bear.
Yes, we
Uh,
do.
And the missus is here. Mrs. Hello, everyone.
Hey,
Yay.
Missy.
Hello.
Yay. Right. And so she says hello back. Brains and Damn It Tech. Hello, Damn It Tech. Over on the Twitch side. Thank you. Remember, follow us on Twitch. And hit that like and subscribe button over here. And we are not.
I love that name. I
Yeah,
say
I
damn
think-
it tech all the time.
Yeah, there you go. And
Ditto.
of course,
My stuff's not working, damn it tech.
Yep, that's cool. I'm not 85. I was born in 1985. But as you'll know, we need to get 3 more subs to get back to 590 because YouTube has done its crazy stuff lately. So, oh well. We will go subscribe on the YouTube side, hit that like button on the Twitch side. Please make sure you follow us there. Snorpoopas, where's Slim Whitman? You need him. Well,
Yeah.
Oh,
we will
he's
find out.
coming.
He's coming. Hello, Sci-Fi Mombi.
That's
Hello.
what
Hey,
Sci-Fi-
Mumba.
Hello.
Act.
Act.
Act. Mommy. Act.
Tim Burton has a dark sense of humor.
He sure does.
I
That's
love
one
this.
way of putting it.
Yeah. There you go. And Emily Gangadine and Sammy the Golden. Hello, friends.
Hey. Act.
Hello,
Act.
Emily.
Act.
Act.
Well, we know that
Hopefully
the
Sammy
dogs,
won't be
you know what-
upset.
but the dogs are heroes in this movie in a way. They're kind of like the cats in Alien in a way.
Yeah, and that's why Tim
That's
Burton
a-
killed one
That's
in the
a
movie.
stretch.
Dagnabbit. That's a warning for anyone who's thinking of
Yeah.
watching the movie. I don't do the trigger warning stuff, but
Yeah.
I'm just saying some people are very sensitive
Well,
to the demise of pets in movies, and so there's
Yeah.
a little bit of that in this movie.
well, Sammy's looking styling with those sunglasses out there. So
Yeah, ghost.
Yeah.
exactly.
Love
And we're gonna get
Goldens.
Pirate Girl Trish. Welcome. Good to see you again.
Hello, great name
Hello.
and nice
Yes.
avatar.
She's a
Love the avatar.
Pirate Girl Trish is a model.
I think her boobs are bigger than mine. Stop it.
I'm not sure.
Way to go, Trish.
Way to go!
Well, she's
Yay.
over here. She's a mod over there at Berry Place 28, who we had on Monday night and with Theme Park Casual. Great to see you.
I hope she likes the movie.
Yes. And folks, feel free to opine with us as we go through parts of the movie. You know, we'll ask questions or, feel free to shout stuff up like the missus.
Act.
Oh, man.
What's
So,
the matter?
all right. I think you're some kind of deviated pervert. What? Hungry. Snorpoopas, whoever you said that. So,
Okay.
all right. Let's see where we're going in here with the rest of the. Oh, yes. Yes,
He's
exactly.
entitled
Thank
to
you.
say
Happy
that.
to see everyone tonight. So, and Pirate Girl Trish loves the movies. So, we've
Oh,
got
good.
8 here. Now, Snortopoopa says we have boob envy.
I know we have boob competition. There's a
Yes.
difference.
Well, speaking of that, how we
Boob
got.
clarity.
Yes.
Clarity.
Well, how did we get here tonight?
Ah,
Well, first of
Ack.
all, it happened it happened over 50 years ago because recently somebody on this panel had a wonderful birthday
Oh, it's
that I just found out about. This person does not like praise, glory, and adulation, unlike people like me and Hungry, where we just die for the camera. But
Yeah, well, I will die for the camera.
a most special and happy, wonderful birthday. I know it had to be amazing and perfect time for Mr. Angel coming in too. Let's all wish the great Lisa from YouTube a happy birthday. Happy birthday, Lisa.
Thank you. Yeah, belated. I don't know why I even told you now. Everybody knows.
It's okay. It's okay. It's the special group of people that are here with us tonight now.
I just
Like
love the fact
Stardust?
that Lisa's a Pisces. It makes total sense now.
Well,
I'm saying that as a compliment, not as
Yeah.
a joke. I don't do
no,
sarcasm.
yeah, because Mrs. is like just is Monday, you know. So and
Us
see here they
Pisces
come.
gotta stick together.
Exactly. Now here come the birthday wishes. Yay!
Oh,
So-
thank you.
exactly.
Thank
Well,
you. Thank you.
I did not even know that, and I feel even more special that you let me say it tonight. So thank you, Lisa. Hope it was a wonderful day and celebration for you. And
Well, I appreciate that. No, I at a certain point, it's just like any other day, and then when you catch the flu that's going around this whole
Oh
country,
no!
you
Yeah.
just kind of want to feel better. And when it comes to your birthday, you're like, ugh, ack.
Yes.
well,
Oftentimes
Star
Lisa
Poopa
and I
says you're
usually start-
15 years old. He says you're 15 in mushrooms. So
Aw, I like it.
But sometimes when Lisa
Sci-Fi Mommy
uses
says
the
happy
word ack,
birthday.
I get the impression that it's also just like the Charlie Brown it's just
Yes.
ack.
It's more like a bad, not good. Ack. My day is ack.
Oh, and here's Master saying, "Here's liken Glückswunsch zum Geburtstag." Anyway,
Ah,
There's Lieschen Glückwunsch. What zum
Glückwunsch.
Stag. Yeah.
Geburtstag,
Arg.
Geburtstag.
I also like what Mr. A said about the film, the evil
Yes.
humans throwing birds
Yeah,
at us.
exactly.
Yes.
Mr. Angel. We hope we win against evil humans throwing birds at us. It's the greatest of insults we cannot forgive. So I think he's saying happy belated birthday to you, my friend. Greatest, yes. Pirate Girl Trish starts going back at 50 now. That's what she does.
but that was a very funny typo, Mr. A, because
Thank you.
considering
Disney
how much you've had to
Cheeseburger.
work with
Hopefully you can
grated
stay one
cheese.
time sometime. But hey, thanks for lurking about and smash that like button. And folks, everybody, if you have things to say about this movie, feel free to jump in. But thanks for coming by, sir. We appreciate it. All right, Tommy. Sorry.
I was going to say that, there's greatest, and then there's the way the typo worked with it. Greatest, as in grating cheese. And there are a lot of times you got to grate some cheese, and there's a lot of cheese in this movie, right, Lisa?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, look at I've missed.
Oh, you're
Mrs.
not
made a
kidding.
funny.
They should have made this movie in Wisconsin.
Yeah,
They might have.
they might have. Yeah. Well, listen, I missed the missus making a funny out here. She said, "So does Pirate Girl Trish." Says "arg arg arg" instead of "ack ack ack."
Yes.
Because
Arg.
then Pirate Girl said for tonight, yes, ack ack ack. But good to see you, Masters. Glad to have you with us tonight. So, oh my gosh, cheese would be perfect if they had yellow goo instead of green goo.
I don't know. I mean, I'm sorry that
They're from Mars.
St.
It's
Patty.
got to be green.
Yeah, but I know that St. Patty's Day is coming up, but I just can't handle green cheese, Lisa. I'm a cheese hound.
That way, no. Uh-uh. But for this movie, the green brains in the back kind of look like a weird, funky cheese.
It does.
Yes.
It does. It looks like cave cheese. And Mr. Angel and MMM know what I mean. There's some cheeses that are actually still made in a cave. And
What?
No, that's not a joke. There are some gourmet cheeses that are actually aged in a cave because the temperature, and also, not to be gross, there are certain things that get into the cheese, like in blue cheese, where it actually affects the flavor of the cheese. Now, I'm not a fan of cave cheese. I like Monterey Jack, but you guys understand what I mean. All the people.
I do. Oh, yeah.
I'm done. I've checked out on cave cheese, green cheese, wet
Checked out
cheese,
on
everything.
cave cheese.
And like, oh gosh.
Now,
is
if it was
insane,
if it
folks.
was cave cheesecake, I'd be up for it, Lisa.
Oh, hell,
But you know, the more I look at the brains in the background, it's more like aspic,
Yeah, ooh, I don't like aspic.
right?
Ooh, yucky, yucky,
Doesn't it look
yucky.
like it? Like the
what is
gelatin?
what is aspect? Some
It's
of
like
us
Oh, you
don't.
don't wanna
different
know.
foods
I'm
and stuff.
It's boobs and
Encapsulate.
stuff.
It's the gelatin that
Gelatin, oh,
sometimes
okay.
Yeah,
is
and
used
cake.
in ham stuff.
Right.
Ah,
Aspic
Okay.
encased ham aspic.
It looks
Yeah.
terrible. I
Oh,
don't know
yeah.
why people ever developed that and ate it. It's disgusting. Like that.
Hey, Canadian Spidey.
Canadian
great to see you.
Spider-Man, good to see you. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, good to see you too. Canadian Spider-Man. All right, well, let's talk about this movie a little bit. We're 17 minutes in. Thanks for everybody being here today. Hit that like button, subscribe, follow us, all that normal stuff. But hey, sit back, relax, have some fun with us. Share your memories, thoughts, and all with the movie.
I have a
here.
question, real quick, Dad Man.
Sure.
Now I know Hungry likes the movie, and I love to hate the movie.
Right.
Where are you landing on this?
Well, I was going to wait and reveal it later, but honestly, I love this movie. I forgot how good it was.
Okay, just so
But
I
but
know
see,
who I'm
but
dealing
see,
with
listen
here.
to this. Listen to this though. I went to a private university. So, and then Beavis and Butthead came out.
Mm.
And you know, private universities are kind of expensive. Well, my dad looked at me one day when I was just dying about Beavis and Butthead, and he looked at me and said, "That expensive education, and that's what you watch."
Ah,
I can see the disappointment.
It was like I just loved brainless, mindless stuff. I mean, The Simpsons was a great one for the first few seasons. It's now something else.
it's the way it's the verbiage that you used. I mean, I can hear your dad saying that in an old Brooklyn voice. That expensive education, and this is what you watch. What?
Yeah. But I honestly, I just like brain dumping and a total escapism. It's like
Hence the background.
Well, it's like this SpongeBob episode where they told him to do nothing but fine dining and breathing, and that's what I like to do with my brains. Where I don't think, I just be stupid, silly, and it makes no sense. This thing had massive plot jumps. They were like, how the hell did they get from Vegas to Washington D.C. with the whole country destroyed? I mean, there's things all through this movie,
And a lot of in jokes. Of in jokes.
And she wanted to go to Tahoe. She never got allowed to go to Tahoe.
I know, and it's like right up the street from her. So it's like you don't understand.
I mean, that's something wonderful about this film. I mean, I cannot stand Annette Bening, but I loved her in this.
Well, that's one of the things is let's go ahead and we'll talk about the cast a little bit. But here, Mars Attacks is a 1996, considered a black comedy science fiction film, directed by Tim Burton. Co-produced it with Larry J. Franco.
Actually, he was uncredited, but he also co-wrote the script. He just didn't want to take credit for that. So a lot of that's one of the reasons I admire this.
Now, it's not because he's embarrassed by it, Lisa.
She shoots, she scores.
She shoots from the hip, folks. That's why we love having Lisa around. Nothing to stop her at all. So
that's
good.
Mr. Angel's recommending you read something Hungry for Corny.
I know exactly what he's talking about. Actually, I have read those. I have read those. I love those. But I mean, the thing about this movie, just so we get it out of the way, is a lot of people did not understand where this movie was coming from. And it actually comes from a set of, for 1962, extraordinarily violent trading cards. Because in 62, there weren't a lot of specialty trading cards aside from sports. You know, you had the baseball cards, etc.
I was just about to say that. So.
Yeah, I mean, they're to have a bunch of science fiction illustrations and the Martians and the trading cards in 62. Well, credit to Tim Burton. They look exactly the same.
But and see, it's not just a trading cards, it's Topps trading cards, which were the brand of trading cards for sports back then. So I mean, it was really
a very conservative company. And for them to go ahead and do a trading card series like this, where you see a guy being blasted by a Martian ray gun and having half of his flesh exposed, you know, no skin, etc. I mean, all the crap, the violent crap you see in this movie is actually in the trading cards. And there was more nasty stuff in the trading cards. You have you have like 20-foot tall spiders digging their mandibles into the necks of people in the trading card series.
No
Well, they
way.
could have had that in the movie. That'd have been cool.
No, they wanted
Yeah.
they wanted to have it in the movie. They did.
I do too.
They actually planned for that, and then the powers that be, the execs said no, that's going to be too expensive. And originally,
Oh,
the
man.
Martians, the Martians were going to be animated by a group of specialty animators who were following the Ray Harryhausen technique of stop motion animation. But then they saw the budget and they said, no, we're just going to go
We're going to talk
CGI.
about. I'm going to go through all that a little bit, and then you can.
And the
branch out
dog,
from
the
there.
dog gets blasted in the card
Okay,
series.
stop, slow down.
I'm sorry, I love this movie.
I know you do. It is so cool that you are so excited about it. But I tell you what, we got people that love spiders. That's
Mm.
what's so amazing, that they could have done a lot with that. Now that you mention it, because I know a lot of people are attracted to spiders. That could have been kind of cool to do it. Now, personally, I'm one that's freaked out by spiders. I hate
They had other
spiders.
giant bugs too. They had other giant bugs in the series, but the spiders were of particular note. Yes.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and finish. Like Hungry mentioned, they were based on a the screenplay is based on the Topps trading card series of the same name,
which Tim Burton collected as a kid. He collected them as a kid, and then there was the '94 series, which came out right before this movie went into production. But it was mainly based on the '62 series. But there was a little bit from the 1994 Topps series.
Okay.
And it's very interesting that Topps actually chose to do a recreation of something before movies started doing recreations of everything.
Okay.
Right.
Well,
Exactly.
one of the biggest things with this movie was it featured an ensemble cast, basically a lot of famous people.
Oh,
It had
yeah.
Jack Nicholson in a dual role as the president and the gambler guy. Glenn Close, who was the first lady, and I got comments about that too.
Natalie
Annette
Portman.
Bening, Pierce Brosnan, Danny DeVito, Martin Short, Sarah Jessica Parker, Michael J. Fox, Pam Grier, Rod Steiger, Tom Jones, Lucas Haas, Natalie
Big
Portman,
Jim Brown. Big Jim Brown.
I don't know who Sylvia Sidney is, but who the hell was Lisa Marie?
Oh God, Lisa Marie. Lisa Marie
You
was
keep
actually
acting like I keep thinking Lisa Marie Presley or something. I mean,
no.
Lisa-
She's a different Lisa Marie.
I know.
She was also in Sleepy Hollow. She basically was the lover and wife for a time of Tim Burton. He was married to her, and she has very
she's a
distinct
famous
roles.
model, though, right?
Yes, and she also played Vampira in the Ed Wood movie that Tim Burton also did.
Yeah.
And she was also in Sleepy Hollow.
I remember I liked Sleepy Hollow. So we're going to talk more about the characters and the roles in this as we go along. But Alex Cox had tried to make a Mars Attacks film in the 1980s when before Burton and James had began development. Basically, they Warner Brothers commissioned rewrites after the first write, an attempt to lower the budget to $60 million. Final production budget came to $80 million, while Warner Brothers spent another $20 million on the marketing campaign. Filming took place from February to June in 1996, shot in California, Nevada, Kansas, Arizona, and Argentina. So, and of course, like you were talking about the animation standpoint of, they ended up hired Industrial Light and Magic to create the Martians using the computer animation after the previous plan to use stop motion animation fell through because of the budget limitations you're referring to.
Yes.
It was released theatrically by Warner Brothers Pictures in the U.S. on December 13, 1996. Melissa and I had not even been married a year then at that point, and received mixed reviews from critics. Grossed approximately $101.4 million in box office totals, which was seen as a disappointment. It was nominated for the Hugo Award for Best Dramatic Presentation and earned multiple nominations at the Saturn Awards. So,
and Saturn Awards, by the way, are science fiction awards, just so everybody knows. I know Sci-Fi Mommy knows that, but some other people might not. But also, I just want to bring up Sylvia Sidney because I'm a big fan of 1930s films. Sylvia Sidney was an ingenue.
Okay,
Lisa knows
that's
what
the grandma.
ingenue is.
That's the grandma,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
This was her final film role in this.
Yes, and she actually was back in the 30s. She was an incredible cutie, and she was not a sex pot like Angela Lansbury, believe it or not, used to be.
What?
Or Elsa yes, Angela Lansbury used to be a sex
How?
pot. Yeah. No, I'm not kidding. And Elsa
she's-
So was
Lanchester
Lucille
too.
Ball before.
Yes, Lucille Ball. She was
Mhm.
always the sexy bad girl before she realized that she could sell her wares
Comedy.
with comedy. You
Yep.
know, and
Mhm.
she was, well, I mean, honestly, Lucille Ball back in the 30s and 40s, especially in a film like Stage Door, she
Yeah.
is. I mean, in terms of ooh, baby, hubba hubba, she kicks Katharine Hepburn out the window, right?
Yeah,
But
she is beautiful.
she gorgeous, magnificent woman. But Sydney was, you know, she was the little ingenue, the innocent woman, the guy, you know, you wanted to become the White Knight, sweep in and save her from her bad circumstances in her 1930s and 40s films. And so the fact that it just shows that Tim Burton is a massive fan of these old movies from the 30s. He's got this fixation with 1930s and 1940s films, and for him to have her as such a major and funny character in this film is one of the few things that I love about Tim Burton. Like I've said, he's like a stopped clock. It tells time right
And
twice
she
a
was
day.
also in Beetlejuice. Was that
Yes,
Tim
yes.
Burton as well?
Yes, she
Oh.
she was the head of the reception room.
Oh, that's right.
smoking lady.
Yes, yes, I recognize. Okay, now I recognize her from that. The
Yep.
smoking lady and like reaming them out of you lost the book. Yeah, it's just,
Yes.
okay. I got it. So, and I think that's what Pirate Girl Trish is saying.
Yes,
She was incredible.
Nice,
actress, original
Pirate,
owner
nice.
of radio station WKRP in Cincinnati, which is famous for the Flying Turkey episode. So,
Oh
and
no,
yes.
bastards! Oh, bastards!
Oh,
masters.
gosh.
Yes,
There's-
originally in her first 5 films, yes, she was, because she was incredibly curvy, and she also
Yeah.
had a great manner of elocution. And well, you know, I mean, a lot of people look at Mae West and they think, why was anyone attracted to Mae West? Well, there are many reasons why guys are attracted to Mae West.
No, Hungry, what are they? I'm just naive. I need to be explaining these things. I'm a little slow, you know. But
Well, you know, we could talk about the 2 top talents, but you can also talk about a way a woman walks away from the camera. And
well,
those
I
are
don't
both
know. We
good
saw a
reasons.
way Lisa Marie walked in here tonight. And,
I know.
Supposedly, nobody
Oh,
noticed
baby.
that was a really weird thing. Well, let's go through the plot real quick with this, and then we can jump scene to scene and go with wherever you want to go and wherever the chat wants to go. Earth is visited by a massive fleet of flying saucers. But before we see that, what we start
The
with
logo. The logo.
okay, the logo, but then
The Warner Brothers logo.
the Warner
that's-
Brothers logo. You love logos.
No, but I mean, when the film opens, you see
Yes.
the Warner Brothers
I know.
logo, and then you see one of the flying saucers going
Yes.
into the logo. I mean,
Well,
Tim Burton is a
Yeah,
master
but
of
before
detail. I'll
that,
give
but
him
before that, going into the logo, you know, you remember they said, was it Nebraska or something, wherever, and then you see the guy out there, and the other farmer comes up.
No,
with
I mean
this-
before that. I mean the moment the movie
Yeah.
opens and you see
Yeah.
Warner Brothers films, and you actually see a little Martian flying saucer going into the logo before we see the very first seconds of the film.
And you know what I love with that first seconds of the film is like you see the one neighbor comes up to the others like, "What do you have
Yeah.
a barbecue?" And they're like,
Mm.
"What?" It was like amazing. Then all of a sudden we see the stampeding cows coming down the road. Like,
Those
Yeah,
are the
that was
cards.
kind of gross.
I know. They were in the cards though, Lisa. So Tim Burton was being a purist, and we complained that people don't know the source material, you know, with
Right.
Star Trek and everything. But at least Tim Burton knew the source material, and that's an actual card.
Well,
That was
yeah.
how did they not
But
die?
the
How
source
did they?
material is kind of gory to have a whole cattle drive with them all on fire, and then like the neighbors like, "Oh, what you cooking today? Are we having steak?" I mean, I'm sure it smelled wonderful, but
They weren't being consumed though. That's what I got. It was weird to me is that they're
No,
just
it's
sitting
just-
there. They're running around like candles.
yeah.
Well, these
cattle drive.
dumbasses,
Very
these
hot.
dumbasses are scared of a dove, so maybe they were scared of the cow.
Oh,
That leads
welcome
me
to
to that
Earth.
question
The
that I
second
got.
house on fire.
All right.
Welcome to Earth.
So basically, we see that
That's
Natalie
crazy.
Lake and her boyfriend, as a reporter for a news outlet, try to capitalize on the developing story, getting an interview with the science professor.
Oh, and that's Sarah Jessica
So,
Parker,
yeah,
by the
Sarah
way,
Jessica
who
Parker.
I
and
hate
Mike-
in every movie and every show except for this one.
Aw.
Oh,
I
look
do
at
not
Sci-Fi,
like her.
Sci-Fi Mommy's got a great one. When this movie opened in '96, it was your 18th birthday. Aw.
Oh,
And my friends drugged me. I think you meant dragged me. But yes, I got you.
That's a good typo.
I have to just say one thing about Sarah Jessica Parker. I think she was perfectly cast in this
Yes.
because as the film progressed, her head landed on a dog. And I
Yeah.
think the two combined, because
Yes.
I find Sarah Jessica Parker to be a dog. I mean, she's not very good
we will
looking
get
at all.
We will get to some pictures on
So I
that.
thought it was
too.
a perfect casting.
And she
Yes.
was mean to Kim Cattrall, which is
Yeah.
unforgivable.
Exactly. Well, we will go with this with the plot. See, basically, the president goes to speak, or no, the scientific advisors being interviewed, and all of a sudden,
Pierce Brosnan, yes.
Pierce Brosnan is
Oh
interrupted
yeah,
by
no,
the
that was a
Martian
good
leader.
casting.
Yeah,
Who-
Lisa don't
yes.
mind that. That's
Well,
a part of the film you don't mind.
Yeah. No, I think, but still, I think it's seriously. He did play that very intellectual professor the whole
Yes.
time, and you see it throughout the movie when he said, "Well, maybe it's this or maybe it's this." But during that interview, the Martian leader interrupts with the broadcast, and they send coordinates to land outside Pahrump.
Yes.
What a name, Nevada. So then, basically, you've got everybody going out there. They have a big scene.
Hippies, a lot of hippies.
Exactly, because against we had two generals. I like to say the Schwarzkopf and the Powell generals.
Yes.
You got General Decker, who is very hawkish. You got General Casey, who's the very dovish political guy, who has one of the best quotes in the movie. I want to say before we talk about
Who was
later as we
also
get
in
to-
Wrath of Khan. He was also in.
he was also in Terminator.
Yes.
Yes,
He's a great actor.
Yes,
Great actor.
exactly.
Yeah.
We're going to get to the cast again a little bit more. So basically, you've got that. We are introduced to the donut shop with Richie and his older brother, Billy Glenn, which we find out about later, who's
Jack
in the
Black.
army. And I did not know Jack Black was in this movie till I saw this.
All right.
I did
I
not
forgot
realize that was
too.
Jack Black. And I was like, I'm watching with a miss. I'm like, that's Jack Black. But hey,
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
I-
you saw the opening credits. You see Jack Black, and you're like,
I
"Where the
don't pay
heck is he?"
I know.
Yeah.
Well,
he honestly, he did a great job in this. This is
Yeah.
before like all the current stuff that we complain about, but
Yep.
he used to be a great character actor. And in addition to his work with Tenacious D, and I do admire his work with Tenacious D, and he was one of the high points of the film in regards to just comedy. If you're just
Yeah.
looking at comedy, he was good. He was
Mhm.
very good.
Yep. Well, against the advice of the guys, the real military guys, they go out there, meet them, come out there.
Steiger.
They go through this translator thing that's not working half the time. Actually, it was surprisingly accurate.
Yes.
Apparently it translated things, and then basically the Martian said, we come in peace, and that's like, oh, everybody's happy. General Casey's there smiling like, and then all of a sudden they came in peace.
Yeah,
Hippie bro with his dove.
Hippies.
It's like in Disney World. They had to stop releasing doves because the daggum hawks timed them, and the hawks were picking off the doves at they knew when the doves were coming out, and they were picking them off for lunch.
And it's like
Aw.
Burning
And it's
Man
like-
too.
Yeah, but so then they see the dove and they kill it with the ray gun, and then of course they turn on the whole crowd, attack it with ray guns, killing pretty much everybody there. Duck Nally and the pet chihuahua Poppy. So then of course we all decided, oh, maybe it's a cultural misunderstanding. Maybe they didn't like the dove, So then okay, the Martians in a little more like Cold War bad guy stuff, they issued a formal apology for their actions. So of course they turned to the humans. Actually, formal apology wanted to address Congress, which then all of a sudden they did one thing when he reached in to pull out, and then everybody started to duck. And it was a script. Then the next time he pulled it, and they started blowing up everything. And of course, Professor sitting there yelling like, "But sir, that's a misunderstanding. Why? I don't understand." As when the Martians cold cocked him, knocked him out, he's kidnapped too, which of course gets us to one of the great scenes. That in the retirement home where Grandma is, she's laughing like, "Ha, they blew up Congress," which is one of the greatest lines in the movie. So then we
Oh,
have
you
later-
covered a lot of ground there.
Yes, we're going to come back and go scene by scenes as we like to do it. I'm trying to get through the whole plot of the movie first. And then we're
Oh.
going to come back and talk about different stuff that we want to talk about. Then as we advance through the story, we see Martin Sheen's character, the press secretary out there. He's horny throughout the whole things.
That wasn't Martin Sheen. That was Martin Short.
Martin Short. Martin, thank you, sir. Yes,
But he
yes.
acted like a Sheen, so I got what you meant there.
Thank you, Lisa.
Well,
That's why you're here
there
He,
you
today.
go.
he acted like Charlie Sheen. Yes.
Yes, correct.
Not Martin
Oh,
Sheen, but Charlie
Miss
Sheen.
Daniel says, we come to liberate you from birds and you throw one at us. This means
Yes.
war. There you go.
Nice.
So he just and we can talk more about that scene about Martin Short's character. Horny as anything. We have Lisa Marie's character, which is kind of weird. Like, doesn't anybody know the way this character's walking is weird? And she keeps chewing the nitrogen gum, because of the atmosphere.
That was a good reveal, though. That
Yeah,
the
it was a good
nitrogen
reveal.
I agree.
gum was a good reveal.
Right.
Oh,
So
yeah.
then basically I'm sorry, Lisa, go ahead.
I was agreeing with Hungry.
So basically what that happens, what we have then is that, he makes a move, gets his finger bitten off, and then we have all this shooting. And then of course we have the one unfortunate scene with the dog got it, but the dog again played hero because he woke everybody up to it. And they have the president at gunpoint, and then a bird tweets, so they shoots the bird, and then Secret Cervix takes them all out and everything.
Secret cervix? No, it's
Yeah, I caught that too.
But you didn't say anything. At least Lisa said anything.
well,
It's like
I could
leave
let
us
the
a-
cervix go, but this is me, and I'm not gonna let you get away with saying cervix
I
and
know.
not calling you out on it.
That's okay. I was trying to see if y'all were listening because it was a
I'm
great
listening.
Beavis and
I wish I
Butthead
wasn't.
episode. Beavis and
I do not have the
Butthead
right to
episode.
talk about a cervix, but Lisa does. That's why I had to wait for Lisa to talk about it.
Yeah,
Anyway.
let's move along.
We're moving along.
Hey, but
So-
Lisa Marie had a certain cervix in this movie,
Yeah.
didn't she?
So this, after the Lisa Marie character gets eliminated, they full out on attack Earth. We see them blow up the Washington Monument, kind of teeter-totter it back at a bunch of Boy Scouts.
Hmm.
Then they attack in the White House. They're trying to escape. The First Lady gets, and of course, another great line with her. She gets eliminated by the falling chandelier, and then they get escape. They get the president out of the White House. And then we see a lot of chaos. Las Vegas being destroyed, rampaging through Nebraska, the Defenders
Sci-fi
trailer,
Bobby.
and
Yes.
and-
Joe
That's
Estevez. I love Joe Estevez.
ack, ack, ack.
I was thinking Emilio Estevez because he's related to Sheen.
No, they're both. There's Joe Estevez and Emilio, and
Yes.
I mean, I actually like the acting of Emilio, so I'm not going to make fun
Yeah.
of him. But good old Joe, has been in a film called Baby Ghost. Don't get me
Baby
started.
I don't think
Well-
I know Joe Estevez. I'll have to
Where-
look that up.
Well, welcome Jerry Mendoza. Ack, back to
Ack.
you.
Hello,
Well,
Jerry.
They used the Taj Mahal. They used a picture, a rendering of the Taj Mahal, and
Yeah.
they used it as a like we said, after this full scale invasion, you see all around the world things are getting destroyed. Big Ben gets destroyed. Taj Mahal gets destroyed. Of course, the aliens
Eiffel
are taking
Tower.
pictures.
Eiffel Tower.
Well, that comes a little bit later. Remember, because see, they're taking pictures in front of the Taj Mahal like tourists, and it blows up. But remember, they had not yet attacked, because a little bit later we see the French president calling President Dell like, "Hey, we got a peace treaty. They agreed to surrender," and then he's like,
Blam,
"Get out
blam,
there."
blam. Zap, zap, zap.
No, sci-fi
Bye-bye.
Mommy. I will not bring that up. That was not a Freudian slip. I was testing these two to see if they were listening, because it's from an old Beavis and Butthead.
That's
Score one for the
not
secret.
true.
Yes, it was.
Screwed
Yes,
up.
I was. I did it on purpose to see if y'all would catch it.
Oh,
I did.
Hungry.
And that's
What do
how
you
sharp.
I call
I was-
shenanigans, Lisa. I
I
call
was,
shenanigans.
I was testing the great Lisa. I know Lisa calls bullshit out, period. Anyway, I knew she'd call it. I was testing. So
Well, it worked.
It worked. Good. Okay, so basically what we have is a lot of chaos, confusion, blowing stuff up. Then finally, Tom Jones comes in. The aliens are on stage with him, and they're like, what the hell? And then it's a bunch of everybody escaping. Then also Richie goes, gets his grandmother because the aliens are taking over the retirement home. We see flaming wheelchairs of people in it, all kinds of stuff. They're really, it's to me, it was a scene of the great things of how the bad guys are just overdoing it, overhyping it, because they got to see the gun right behind her head, all this, and all of a sudden
that was a huge gun.
Yeah, that was a huge gun.
For such a little woman.
I know. But see, then again, she heard Richie coming up and said, what? She pulled the cord out. And that's when we see the alien's weakness, Slim Whitman music.
Yep.
Oh, yes, exactly. See, Masters has it right. It's the lost brother of Neelix, okay?
Yes.
There you go. So
I'm not making fun of Voyager while we're on this stream. Okay? I'm not doing that.
I'm not either. I just
different entities.
Yes.
I know, but Masters, that was a good one. But
Hi,
basically,
Jerry, is that my cousin Jerry?
Yes, it is. That is Jerry Mendoza. Yes. Yes, see right there.
Well,
he's now
why is
Captain Marvel
he wearing
tonight.
a Captain You can't be changing superheroes, Jerry. You're either Superman or you're Captain America. I'm just so confused. Love you. Great picture, Jerry.
At least he did.
I'm aware of that movie.
I'm Batman. At least he did say I'm Batman,
I'm aware of that sci-fi. I'm very aware of that. I've actually been a fan of the Sheens ever since actually before Apocalypse Now. I was a fan of Martin Sheen ever since the episode Nightmare of the original Outer Limits series in the 1960s. And then I enjoy all of his family's work. All of his family's work. And I know he's Latino.
We're going to try
to finish the plot here. We'll get to
There's something wrong with me because I'm reading chat and I see Sheen and then I look up and there's Penal Colony.
No,
I know. I saw that too.
Don't.
There's a Sheen to the Penal Colony. I'm sorry.
Lisa,
they're
Australians, Lisa.
You get me.
They're Australians.
They use moisturizer, Lisa. They use moisturizer.
Okay, well, that works. Yeah.
All right. That's why they shoot because of the moisturizer. Okay. To finish it all, we had the chaos. We had the chaos and confusion and blowing everything up. We find out what their aliens' weaknesses are. The president actually gets killed in kind of a cool way where the alien thing comes off and then puts basically a flag up, through his body. But before that, as General Decker got crushed because we see the Princess Leia stun ray, but instead of killing the General Decker, it shrunk him, and then he kept defying. I think he flipped him off with a bird before the alien ambassador stomped him. So basically, we got all that. Of course, Slim Whitman saves the day with his music. Everybody goes around. The boys clean up the Washington. The army cleans up Las Vegas. And then, of course, Tom Jones sings his classic song near the end. And, of course, at the end, we see Jim Brown marching home to Washington. Somehow he got all the way across the country, too, without a plane. And
it's a Burton movie. So, just accept it.
Exactly. I agree. That's what I said. I love this movie. Like, at least ask, why do you like this? It's because I like the brain dumps. I don't like have to think and stuff like that. Our final scene is that after the war, all the destruction in Washington, the president's daughter, Taffy, awards the Medal of Honor to Richie and Florence.
Yes.
And then we see Byron come home to his wife, his estranged wife, and to greet his family. And then, of course, Tahoe. Oh, yeah, she did get in Tahoe in that cavern. Barbara, Cindy, and Jones were emerged unharmed from a cavern.
And aren't we glad that post-credit scenes did not exist in this era? At least, Lisa, you can agree with me. A good aspect of this film is we didn't have to wait through all the credits to get another little itty-bitty scene like in Marvel movies.
Yeah.
Right. But then usually those little scenes like post-credit is a warning that another movie's coming.
A warning! I love that!
So at least with this was one and done.
Yes.
Yep, that's cool.
Yes.
Well, let's look at the cast. It's directed by Tim Burton. Written by Lynn Brown, Woody Gelman, Wally Wood, Bob Powell, Norman Saunders. Jonathan Gems did the screen story. Jonathan Gems did the screenplay. The others got writing credits for the trading card series.
Yes.
So we have President Jack Nicholson played President James Dale, and Art Land, who, by the way, Hungry Boy found out something. We're going to show a picture from one of the scenes in here in a little bit.
I'd like to bring up,
folks, go ahead and tell us. Mr. Angel did something real quick, but I'll read it again later. Tell us what you think of this movie. Have questions, comments about scenes.
Well, I just want to bring up the Art Land thing.
But if the chat, if y'all have things y'all want to talk about, throw it out there. I'll mark it so we can come back to it. And tell us what you think of it. Yes, Hungry. Tell us about the Art Land thing.
This is not about the movie overall. It's just about Jack Nicholson being in the movie. Apparently, and I read this before IMDb put it in, back when we had print media, and that's gone the way of the dodo.
Yep.
But Tim Burton had been told by the executives, you can't kill Jack Nicholson in this movie. And at that point, Jack Nicholson was only playing the president. So what he did was create 2 roles for Jack Nicholson so he could kill both of them off in the movie, just as a big middle finger to the people who told him what he couldn't do. And that, I do kind of admire that chutzpah. That chutzpah, baby.
What's amazing, they let it go through that way. But I guess if you have a produced movie, you're not going to have them rewrite it like that, though. But I tell you what, Jack Nicholson looked like he really had fun playing Art Land, though.
Yes, and when he takes the hat with the wig off, that's almost because Tim Burton is also and that's also a big comic book joke because Jack Nicholson looks a little bit like Stan Lee in this movie, and Stan Lee, people don't realize this, he's been bald since 1962. He's been as bald as Picard, Patrick Stewart, since 1962. God rest Stanley's soul, even though Claudia really doesn't like him, and I have problems with him too. But there are so many visual in-jokes that the studio would not recognize, so that Burton can squeeze them in for all the people who know the jokes, and that's what makes this a beautiful movie for me.
Well, let's finish looking at the rest of the cast with this, and then we'll get into some of the scenes, and I'll show some of the pictures.
Joe Don Baker, dude. Joe Don Baker.
I know. We'll get to Joe Don Baker, but we got to go to Glenn Close first. First Lady Marcia Dell. Dude, I tell you what, they pulled off a great. She sold me as your prototypical traditional first lady with the dress, with the hair, the makeup. It just was like,
and the attitude to the children.
Yes, or the chandelier. Some of the quotes, not just the chandelier, the china, all kinds of stuff. Annette Bening played Barbara Land, a recovering alcoholic that really had hopes for the aliens. Pierce Brosnan played Professor Donald Kessler. Danny DeVito was in here as just rude gambler at the end. But he also said to the Martian, though, hey, you're going to take over the world. You got to have lawyers to do that, right?
Right. Yes.
What a great lawyer joke. Martin Short, who is the press secretary, Jerry Ross, who was going around humping anything he could find. You think he's president, but hey, Sarah Jessica Parker played Natalie Lake, and I agree with you, Lisa. That was a perfect casting right there for that bubbly personality, and I think you're absolutely right with that one.
And Rod Steiger showing a tribute to Dr. Strangelove.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
have you seen Dr. Strangelove?
Michael J. Fox played Jason Stone. You
haven't.
I haven't. No, I haven't. But we'll get there. I want to cover that. But Michael J. Fox. It played Jason Stone, a reporter, but this was a traditional, typical Michael J. Fox. Folks, if you ever, we all know that he had health issues.
He was so popular at that time.
This was like an advanced.
His Parkinson's had showed up at the time he was making the film, so they actually worked some of the tremors that he was suffering into the film, where like the first time he sees a serious Martian attack and he looks really scared and he's shaking. Well, that was actually the Parkinson's attack.
And his career was pretty much not. I mean, he was very popular at that time.
Yes.
And I hate to say this, but there's a bit of foreshadowing at times with this movie. Like,
yes, Lisa. Yes.
He was like the first one to leave the movie being taken out by the aliens.
Yes.
Right.
Well, and it kind of is relevant that his career ended early. So, and then I was just kidding about Sarah Jessica Parker, but she is a dog, and they foreshadowed her into being the head of a dog.
A dog.
But I think she was perfect as this role. I think the way the character was perfect for her.
But then she, Natalie Portman, it foreshadowed her being Queen Amidala, putting
Yeah.
medals around people's necks in
About 3
Star
years
Wars.
later,
So
yep.
there's
Excellent
another
point.
foreshadowing of
Yep.
people's careers. in
Excellent
this
point,
movie.
Lisa.
Now,
Excellent point.
what I like with Michael J. Fox, because it really was, it felt like just watching him act was like it was like he was in Back to the Future or
Yeah.
in the Family Ties show.
He
I
was
mean, it
so
just
good
really
in all
is
those.
really good to see him. He really was good there. And
Such a
now
good guy.
Rod Steiger, like you said, General
Mm.
Decker. Now, what was the throwback to that movie you were talking
Dr.
about? 'Cause
Strangelove.
Dr.
This
Strangelove.
is-
I know he was
this
in
is-
it, wasn't he?
This is actually very much he's doing a tribute, and I think Masters and Mr. A will agree with me. I hope they'll agree with me.
Mhm.
But it's a tribute, an homage to what George C. Scott was playing in Doctor Strangelove. So in Doctor Strangelove, you have this big war room with a big round table and these
Right.
lights that are in a circle around everybody. And that's
Yeah.
what we actually have in this movie. We've got the war room from Doctor Strangelove
Yep.
in this movie, but it's updated a little
Yeah.
bit. And the George C. Scott character is basically the big aggro guy. He's the big aggressive guy saying, "This
Right.
is what we gotta do," and that's exactly what Steiger is doing.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
in
Well,
this
Mr.
film.
Angel says, we love lawyers. Lawyer fricassee is our favorite lunch when visiting. Or no need to think as humans are a pleasure. Hello, Saber the Doom Squirrel. Welcome. Oh my
That's an
gosh.
interesting name.
Yes, I know, because our late night with Dad Man are friends that we call our squirrel streams, where we bounce tree to tree, nut to nut. Good to see you tonight. Doom
So,
Squirrel.
Saber.
A
Good to see you.
squirrel in chat's a good thing.
That's absolutely it is. We got a polar bear, we got a squirrel now. It's wonderful. So hey,
And a spider.
and a
Yeah.
Spider-Man. Yes,
And
you're
an
right.
angel.
And an angel, yes. B from O, ack.
Ack. Ack.
Which reminds me, thank you, B from O, coming in. The reason why this stream is happening tonight is because of these two wonderful individuals that are on here with me. Yes, squirrel moments, snort a purpose.
Hey, snort.
Because these two friends of mine had the, I love entertaining them with DMs, and they're great, and we chat and stuff. But they're the two people that before I even thought of this movie, when I'd say something really genius and comedic,
What?
they're like, ack. I mean, they both would go, ack, as a response. Lisa and Hungry are both. And I'm like, when we thought of this a while back, I'm like, yes, we got to do Mars Attack, because you kept answering ack. And, I think I was talking to Hungry, and I'm like, we got to bring Lisa in on this, because you both.
Yeah.
It's the
that.
perfect word. It really
Yes, it
is. It's up there with
What's that?
ugh.
Yes.
Arg.
Yes. And also the other thing too is sometimes Dad Man will bring up a movie he thinks that neither of us or other people will like, and we're like, no, we love this movie. And he's like, oh, you want to do a stream? Yeah, we'll do a stream.
Yep.
Let's stream it.
Exactly. I know. Spur of the moment. B from O loves this movie. So, folks, listen. Go ahead. Tell us what you think of this movie overall. Mr. Angel did also. I'm going to star them and come back towards what everybody thinks at the end. But
And then can we
but
do
if there-
individual points?
Yes,
Because I got
gonna-
5 pages of
we're
notes
going-
that
we're
I
going to
spent
do that.
12
We're going-
hours making.
We're going to do that in just a second. But everybody, tell us what you think of this movie overall. Pull it towards the end. But if there's scenes or comments you have about specific things, please feel free to put it there. And you love that movie, and you've been here before. I know, but I think it's been a while since I've seen you, Doom Squirrel. Great, always glad to see a fellow squirrel around. Natalie Portman, as y'all said, Tiffany Dale, Jim Brown, Byron Williams, Lisa Marie is a Martian Girl. Like y'all said, Sylvia Sidney played the Grandma Florence Norris. Paul Winfield, General Casey, has got one of the greatest
Yes.
lines in there. I love, but we remember him from Terminator.
Yes.
And some other great movies. What was the other one you mentioned? Hungry Boy.
Wrath of
I mentioned
Khan.
Wrath of
yes.
Khan. Yep.
Yes, and also I'd like to bring up the fact that the person who does the voices for the Martians, who does all of the acts, is Frank Welker, who was the original and best, and for over 35 years, the voice of Fred on Scooby-Doo.
Yep. And I
Oh.
tell you, I wish Stunning was here, because I know Stunning loves Frank Welker. But
Yes.
we also had Pam Grier in this. Jack Black played Billy Glenn Norris. I did not even realize Jack. It was like he's like a kid. I was like, Jack Black was in this. It was like
Christina
insane.
Applegate was his girlfriend.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sharon.
Oh, was that? Oh my gosh, Sharona, such a
Yeah,
It was
Sharona.
the only good body in this whole movie,
Oh,
and it was
what?
Christina Applegate clinging
so-
on to Jack Black.
And then she started.
Oh,
Boy, he hadn't been dead 5 minutes, and she was banging somebody else in the trailer
Well,
park.
I don't
Lisa-
care about that. It's just, and he was dead. What
I-
else is she supposed to be doing?
Lisa, I'm going to put a pin in it, but I have some comments about Lisa Marie later, so I'm going to contest you on
Well,
this podcast.
yeah, but
Mr. Angel
not
says it's
overly indulged by.
Ah!
Mr. Angel says true
Simple,
ode to the
normal
golden
body.
age of sci-fi art and movies. I bloody love
Yes.
this movie.
True,
So
true,
let's-
Mr.
Let's
A.
talk about some of the sci-fi aspects in a minute. Let me see if there's anybody else that I see we're talking about down the cast. I don't think so. But yeah, what about at this part? You talked about the throwback to Doctor Strangelove, but what about the sci-fi aspects? We see that it's a kind of a horror movie, but it's also considered sci-fi. What makes this a sci-fi
I actually
movie?
don't consider it a horror film. I consider it a sci-fi comedy, but there are horrific aspects in it. But there are horrific aspects in War of the Worlds. And originally, this film wanted to use the sound effects from the 1953 War of the Worlds, but they couldn't get the rights to do it because that was a different production company. But you look at people being zapped with a heat ray and then becoming a skeleton. That was first shown in 1953 in War of the Worlds. And it just shows that Tim Burton, as much as I despise him for everything other than 3 of his films, this film being my favorite of his films, he does have a lot of acumen. He does have a lot of background and an appreciation of the old science fiction stuff. And the whole bubble-headed, glass-encased head in regards to being in a different atmosphere, that goes back to 1930s pulp magazines.
Yeah.
So that aspect is completely true to science fiction. You look at the designs of the ray guns, that's almost
Yes.
exactly out from the trading cards and also
Well,
illustrations.
And the Geek and I welcome tonight, but even the opening theme music, like you said, Danny Elfman's the opening
It's
theme
one of his
music.
best themes.
It really has that sci-fi feel to it. It really does.
And I don't know if he was using a real theremin. I imagine he would, but if it was a fake theremin, it was a very good fake. And for people who want to know what the theremin sounds like, that's the theme music from The Day the Earth Stood Still, which also is, in terms of science fiction, since you asked, is a bit of a motif in certain shots, not scenes, but certain shots within this film, as is Earth versus the Flying Saucers, which I introduced to Raquel from Clobby Show. And the Flying Saucers in this film are almost, I'd say, 90% exactly the same as Earth versus the Flying Saucers, which was animated by Ray Harryhausen, which was the type of animation that Tim Burton wanted for this film.
Those UFOs are really, really cool, except the one thing they kind of did different was how they rolled out the ramp on the UFO. It was like a tongue unrolling out. And
Yes.
hello
Yeah.
to Alaska Jeff. Good to see you tonight.
Hello, Alaska Jeff.
Exactly. Surround that Florida heat. So, oh yeah, there's a game that really reminds me of the movie called Destroy All Humans. And Mr. Angel's quoting on back of Doom Squirrel. It's an homage to sci-fi B movies.
But also, to back up Mr. A here, one interesting thing here I have in my notes, and this is something I love about the movie, is that it's not just paying homage to those movies. It's paying homages to different time zones. You have 1950s stuff, and then you have 1960s motifs in the costuming and the design. And then you even have early 70s motif when we see Pam Grier, who was most famous for her 1970s blaxploitation films.
Yeah, but what about this look?
Yeah.
This
I
is
have no
kind of
explanation.
70s. This is
I would
kind of
agree
70s.
70s, sure.
Yeah. This reminds me of
Definitely.
an ex-brother of mine. Gaudy, just gaudy hair, gaudy teeth.
And a 10-gallon hat.
Yep. Yes. It's. I'm gonna. This is interesting. You say that, Snorter Poopus. Yeah, the Earth versus the Flying Saucers. Aliens crashing into the dome of the Capitol building. That's like Grandma said. It was like, they blew up Congress.
Yes.
One of the greatest. One of the. you know, a movie is great or has hit a nerve with the audience when the audience reacts out loud, right?
Did you see this in the theater when it came out?
Yes, the missus and I saw this theater, but no, it was not this one. It was when Independence Day with Will Smith, when the fire got and blew up Congress, the whole audience erupted. It was like, boom. It was so I thought Grandma's reaction was so lifelike and really telling what the way she did there in that scene.
Oh, absolutely. I agree with that. I was living in America at the time, and I saw this film in America. When Sylvia said they blew up Congress, everybody in the theater laughed. Yeah. Everybody.
Lisa Hungry won't let me sing tonight, but hey,
I don't want you to sing either. Why not? Because we don't have any music.
I can karaoke. It's
no acapella here, buddy.
Yeah, no acapella.
The real talent is singing without the music. So yes,
that is very talented to sing without music.
But it is to your point, Hungry. Here's the UFO. What it looked like.
Yes, and that it's a bit chubbier, but that is still very much what Earth versus the Flying Saucers look like, including when they're flying and the middle section spins around the central dome. That is exactly from Earth versus the Flying Saucers.
I noticed that detail watching it again. Was that,
and the gun that comes out of the undercarriage.
Was that War of the Worlds?
No. That's Earth versus the Flying Saucers is the title of the film. It's the actual title of the film.
No. I know. Yeah, I got my movies confused. The War of the Worlds, they shot it from their eyeball. Yeah, yes. But I've seen that like the little ball, the gun from under
the radar. The radar dish comes out. It's a radar dish, but it comes out from under the bottom of the flying saucer, and it is precisely like Earth versus the Flying Saucers.
It always makes me think of the Glock, the bell in World War II Germany, where they had the bell, and actually like the outer saucer is the skirt of the bell.
Yes,
that's what I always think of UFO saucers. It's a German experiment gone wrong called the Glock or the bell.
The Glock.
You ever hear of it?
No, I haven't. I keep thinking you're saying Glock like the gun.
No, Die, Glock, Glocke, Die Glock. It's also called the bell, and it's supposedly a transportation device that the Germans developed.
Oh wow!
Yes, I know. Yes, I know about that. Yes.
Masters knows what I'm talking about.
It's spooky stuff. It's spooky stuff, but it's fun to look up and read. But it's spooky.
But imagine the skirt of the UFO is on the Glock.
Yes, good point, Lisa. Very good point.
Well, I'm learning stuff tonight. I did not know those are terms and things like that. So that's cool. So right, the German UFO. Yeah. So what?
From somewhere.
Yeah, it does. Okay, so Lisa,
coming from Mars.
I know, or their mother, but hey, Lisa, I know that you're. So overall, this is a movie you loved because you laughed at it, but it was not really.
I'd love to hate it.
Yeah. What would you say is your favorite thing with this movie, or what do you have a favorite scene or favorite?
Well, the most memorable is when the yodeling, and it destroys the whole Martians from yodeling, because it kills our ears, and it makes perfect sense that it would wreck the whole species of Martians. So yeah, that was a favorite. Conclusion to this. Any other favorites? I don't know. The chick that actually seduced the creepy Martin Short.
Oh yes, Lisa Marie. Yes.
Yeah. That was plausible to have a Martian trick a guy to get into the JFK bedroom or hidden
yes.
Isn't it JFK's hidden dark room?
Yeah, it was called the Kennedy room. Martin referred to it as the Kennedy room.
Here we go. Here she is.
She played that really well. She looks creepy with that egg-shaped head or the hair.
But the Beehive from the 1960s, Lisa.
Exactly. And this is an 80s movie, so I don't know. And seducing the Martin Short to get into the Kennedy room, I don't know. It worked for me.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, nice
Yep.
one, Mr. A.
We talked about that. That's the tongue rolling out. It was like, but it was really, really done well.
Yeah.
But I have to give
So-
credit to Lisa Marie because according to apocryphal tales, Tim Burton didn't want to have any zipper lines shown. So every time she was in
What?
that costume,
What?
yeah, every zipper
What are
lines.
zipper lines?
Lisa, explain, please.
Are you talking about
Well,
the fabric? That
Yes.
you don't see zippers on the fabric?
Yes.
Correct. So it's
Okay,
one
okay, then,
solid
okay.
shape and nothing distracting the eye from
Gotcha.
the form of the body.
Okay, got
Yes.
you.
So you
Gotcha.
can
I
look
know.
at her boobs and her hips and her butt without being disturbed by a zipper.
Wow,
I
she
will
did a
suffer
better
no
job
shame.
explaining it than you did, Hungry, on that one. So
Well,
yeah,
good.
I
I
got
gave
it
you a
now.
visual.
I thought he was being smart. I thought there was some
No.
new fancy $1 million word, but the way Lisa described it, okay.
No, it's
I'm good.
a fashion term. It's a fashion
Hey.
design term, and
Well, cool.
therefore she had to be sewn into her outfit every time she was on the shoot.
What?
She looked phenomenal.
Yes.
Wow, that had to be
So
sewn in
yes,
again and again.
So
Wow.
the dress was in parts, and
Mm-hmm.
then they sewed it with a very, very small stitch so you wouldn't see it on the camera,
Mm-hmm.
and therefore it just was basically a bodysuit, not a real dress. But the design, if you look at that, that's very 1968, and so
Yeah.
that's very 1960s. So the thing I really like about this film is when they're doing a Kennedy joke, they're in the 60s. When they're doing, a Earth versus the Flying Saucers joke, they're in the 50s. And when they're doing a Pam Grier joke, they're in the 70s. And
Right.
he's balancing 3 time zones.
Yeah.
Plus the modern time zone, because the whole Egyptian Luxor hotel thing, that's
Right.
a real hotel. I was at
Yes,
that
I
hotel
know.
in the
Yeah.
60s.
And good night, Jeff. Good night.
Nighty-o,
Safe
Jeff.
flight
Love
tomorrow.
ya.
Good night.
Hi,
Good flight.
Jeff.
Yeah,
You-
when we were. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Lisa.
Lisa, yes.
I was just saying goodbye to Jeff.
Okay, just making sure.
The attention to detail
Luxor,
is
the-
amazing.
Yeah, the Luxor Hotel. Yeah, we saw that when we were over there. What's so cool in this movie though, especially it being 96, seeing the hotels that don't exist like the Frontier and some of the others anymore now.
Yeah.
You know, it's like
Which
oh
is
my gosh.
another foreshadowing of all the casinos getting blown up
Yes.
Yep.
because they actually don't exist anymore. They were demolished and changed into other hotels. So
And you still
was
have a
another
few of the old ones
forecasting.
that are still there, but
Like
a
the
lot of the old
Landscape
classic ones
Hotel,
are
which was
gone.
the Landscape Hotel, which is in this film, the Galaxy Hotel. The
Well-
one with the flying saucer on the top. That was an actual place, and Tim Burton, to his credit, found out that it was going to be demolished, so he took real life footage of it for the film. And
Well, and the thing is like the Tropicana is
Yeah.
about to be demolished when they
Oh,
build
I
a new
missed
baseball
that.
stadium. Well, we stayed there once. The Tropicana, the Isle of Las Vegas, where players win and winners play. Heard that for days on the damn elevator. It's still stuck in my head. 20, what is it? It's 26 years ago. But hey, and of course we see the Washington Monument in the back, which we saw later in the movie with the UFO pushing it from side to side after the Boy Scouts and ack. It's time for the old bear to bed down. Night, every human.
Nighty-o,
Night,
Snorty.
Florida people, it's
Nighty-o.
good to see you. If you wake up in a couple hours, I
Right,
might be doing Fortnite. So
Oh, we might still
But
be doing
getting back
this.
to the Luxor, that I just looked it up. It was built in 1992. So
Oh, nobody can-
and this film was 96. So
yeah,
they even brought super modern in with the 60s, 70s, 80s,
Yeah.
right? So
Radio.
he did a whole span
And they
of
can't-
time.
they can't drive down Vermont Street. I remember the Vermont Street. Oh wow, it's crazy. So
Yeah, because they enclosed it
Hmm.
into a walking downtown area. That's why you
Yeah.
can't drive down it anymore.
uh,
Right, Jerry?
Right. Well, he's still Captain America tonight, but hey, that's cool. All right.
Because
So, Hungry, what are some of your other notes? What are some of your favorites?
I
or
got,
what
I
did
got,
you know
I,
with us?
well, I have so many notes. I mean,
Let's go. Go ahead.
go for it.
okay,
Yeah.
but I don't want to take up, I like it being a balance. I'll just do.
Well, don't
like a
worry about
few.
balance right now.
Are we done talking
how the-
about Lisa Marie's body?
No, because I want to stare at it a little bit more. But how,
Yeah, so let's
I mean,
continue
you
with
do-
the body.
exactly.
Well, okay,
You
well,
got 10 pages of notes. How the hell can we be balanced? Hungry.
Well,
Okay.
9 pages are on Lisa Marie's body. So
Right.
let's get to it.
That's good, Lisa. I like that. But you see, the other thing is, I don't think this was nepotistic casting, and a lot of people think it was. I disagree with that thought in the geekosphere, because if you look at Lisa Marie's body, it is very 1962,
Yeah.
which she's got a
With the
tiny
cup.
waist, very wide hips. I mean, for Hollywood, wide hips, not for real life. And she's buxom. She's a buxom woman. So she is perfect. If you look
Well,
at
and
the,
it's also the pointy chest too.
Let me take
Yes.
That was
let me take
typical
the
of
thing off.
brassiere back
Let me
then.
take the little notes off the screen so you can see better.
the nickname for the bras at that time we had in Australia, Lisa, were torpedo tubes. And you know what
It
I
sure
mean.
does. I completely agree with that analogy. I do. I mean, it was pointy looking missiles right there.
That's I
Poke
actually
your eye
had
out, kid.
I was going to say missile tubes because they called somebody I used to work with many years ago missiles. But anyway,
Oh,
but yeah,
was
yeah.
it female or male?
It was a
'Cause if
female,
it was
yeah.
male, I feel bad for
No,
him.
it's female. So yeah,
But you
Oh,
know,
good for him.
also the makeup is very accurate to the time. It's exaggerated
sure.
because she's
It's like-
exaggerated with the hairdo
Eye
because of
shadow.
it. She's got to she's got to hide that big old Martian brain
Right.
inside that wig. But the thing is, some of those wigs were nearly that big,
Mhm.
you know.
Yeah.
And I
and
got
I
a
had-
picture for that. I got a picture for that. But I do want to say, Mr. Angel said casting for this movie just nailed it
Yes,
because everybody
agree.
they had in every one of these roles just fit with. I mean, between Rod Steiger to Sarah Jessica Parker, Pierce Brosnan, they were all just. I mean, I saw a side of Annette Bening I did not think would
Yeah.
exist. I never cared for Annette Bening. I thought she was just a serious.
Oh, she's
just
not
nothing.
so bad.
No, but that's what I'm saying is
I'll be
that's what
right
I'm
back.
saying. And look how they did. Like Martin Short here was like. Look how creepy they were able to make. Martin
Yeah,
Short
that
in
was
this.
surprising casting because Martin Short, you think, oh, he's funny, he's a good guy, he's like the guy next door, and he turns out to be this creepy, slimy, pervy, in his car trolling DC at night, trying to pick up chicks, and I mean, you just never equal that thought with Martin Short. At least I
No, you
didn't.
don't.
So it was
No.
surprising to see him as such a scuzzbag.
Well, and I felt the same way about Annette Bening, but the opposite was I'd never seen her do anything other than a serious role. I didn't realize she
this
could
is
act like
kinda
that.
quirky.
Yeah, I didn't realize she could be funny like that or play such an unhinged or unorganized. All the roles I've seen her is like she's a serious dramatic actress, but this one she
Right.
was
Well,
a
she
free
was like a
spirit hippie.
recovering alcoholic, trying to
Mhm.
like be hippie and get in touch with herself. But at a certain point, when the Martians attacked, she's like, "Ah, screw this," and she started drinking again. And then
Yes,
she
yeah.
Yeah.
became down to earth and was like, "Ah,
Okay.
screw this, let's get out of here. Let's
Here's
go to
one-
Tahoe."
Here's one more of Lisa Marie here.
Yes.
Hungry. That,
now
like you
look,
said,
look
that-
at that outfit. You cannot see a single aspect of production there.
I don't
mean,
see
it
an
looks
ass anywhere. I
painted
see a
on.
front and a bottom.
Hey,
And
Well,
a
you said
hip,
aspect. Yeah.
but yeah,
a-
you don't see like a bra line
Yeah.
or no. She's marvelous in that.
And the way she moved her arms side to side, I
Yeah.
actually really respected that, because the Martian is trying to emulate the way a sexy human would walk, and they have no understanding of what a sexy human is. So that was
Like a
incredibly
rhythmic
funny.
hypnotic trying to like
Yes.
almost sedate your victim into compliance.
Yes. Yes. Oh, Mrs. I understand that, like I said, I'm a
does.
fan of Mae West, but nonetheless, and Sophia Loren and other people. But the thing is, for the purpose of sexiness here, they have to look at what is sexy to the character of Martin Short. And please remember, he was picking up hookers 17 minutes before this part of the film. He showed
Right.
up in the White House attaché limousine going, "Hi girls, how you doing?"
Yeah, and then he had two creepy.
My job
looking
is so
uggos.
stressful. Well, see, here's what we got with Annette Bening. Like I was saying to Lisa,
Right.
was just I didn't think of her anything more than a serious. Honestly, to me, she was always
Yeah.
very cropped, short haircut, serious actress. No, I mean the last thing I ever expected to see long flowing hair with and being funny. You know.
And making fun of hippies.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I'm just the idea that yes, like a beautiful boa constrictor, Mr. A beautiful,
Oh, good.
lovely, affectionate boa constrictor,
Yes.
Yep.
which are non-venomous, by the way, non-venomous. Don't be afraid of a boa. If it's under 7 foot, it can't kill you unless
What?
you're asleep. Then it can kill you.
You never know. Well, I will say that
I'm trying
Yeah,
to think of that movie she was in, and it was
oh well,
The
God, you're right.
Grifters. Annette
Christine-
Bening in The Grifters. She was so good in that, and
She's a
played
great actress.
smart. Yeah, short hair, or I think she had short hair in that.
Well, I'm going to say this
It was
is
good.
this is going to be a thing is because you mentioned Christina Applegate, and I
Yeah.
did not know
Yeah.
it. I did not know she was this character.
Oh, wow.
Because you didn't get to see much, but like here, this scene here, you know, this scene
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's like, oh my God, that is her now. But what's so funny with this scene, this is the scene when we get the aliens right outside the window,
Yeah.
dance, whatever that Bee Gees song, and they were huffing and they're fogged up their helmets and the windshield wipers came out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
That was a
funny.
fun scene with that.
Yeah, it was.
So Hungry, what else? What other nuggets of goodies do you have in your your bag right there? Let me bring up one more Art Land.
Wait a minute, you have nuggets and a bag, Hungry? Cool.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, this is leading up
Yes.
to one of my favorite.
Yeah.
Because what I'm bringing up with Tim Burton is attention to detail. Sometimes
Notice,
it's
and
bad.
folks, notice the ball. Notice the
Yes.
globe in the back.
I
folks,
did.
which
because
is coming.
I
Right
am
for
going
him.
to show something in just a second. But yeah, go ahead.
But
Hungry.
this is one of my favorite parts of the movie, not just because of what happens, but because of Tim Burton's attention to detail. Because there's something a lot of people missed in the movie when they first saw it, or even when they rewatch it. So you're seeing the ball is coming at him, just like in the first Indiana Jones film. All right.
Yeah.
And then he gets the squishy poo. He ends up being squishy pooed. And then there is a scene afterwards, which I think Dad Man is going to point out.
Mhm.
A very quick moment.
Yeah, this reminded me of the scene like in Rat Race, you know, where all these rich people together and it's like whatever, it's all about money and everything else. And he's on a roll. He ain't stopping. They're trying to get his attention about everything going on in the background he could see that they could see.
He
And
needs
he's
to make
like,
a
"No."
sale, dude.
Yeah.
He needs to make the sale.
He is not stopping whatsoever. And then we see that he's like, oh, and then finally the aliens hit the building and the building starts to go. We
Mm.
get the ball coming. You know, when we say ball, usually it's the good old Phantasm, you know, that horror movie with the ball in it.
Oh,
But
I love
folks-
the Phantasm movies. Yes.
But then what happens is this has happened that the great Hungry Boy pointed out actually here. The attention to the detail right here. If you look right here,
There he
Flat.
is.
there's a body. He's rolling out the window with him with the globe.
He been
Oh.
squishy pooed.
Yeah. The attention to detail is amazing, though.
Yeah.
And the fact that that was an actual hotel, that was like the landmark hotel, which is called the Galaxy Hotel in this film. But, Tim Burton actually went out and saw the demolition of the hotel and got footage of it for the film. And I think that's
Mhm.
beautiful. I really
Yeah,
do.
I
Even,
do too.
as I said, a stop clock tells the right time twice a day. And Tim Burton told the right time 4 times a day with this movie. So good.
It's but it's interesting. When I stopped to look for it, I could see it when I watched it again earlier. Yeah, Mr. Angel noticed it too.
But I had to
So-
point that out to you, man.
Yeah, right, exactly. That's why this is one of those movies that it's good to watch again and again because then that's to me what's good with these type of movies is you end up enjoying it usually so much the first time.
Yeah.
There is stuff that you miss because you're having such a good time with the stuff that's obvious.
Mm.
But then you start picking up like some of the Naked Gun movies and some of the airplane movies. You start to
And
see
Police
stuff.
Academy. And
Police
Police
Academy,
Academy.
you start to see other smaller things that did not get your attention. There are details in the background that really keep the movie interested later, but at the time they may not have risen to the
Well, I mean,
body
there's,
shaking
there's
laughter.
another thing I wasn't able to get a good picture, a good screen cap for you. But when we're having the scenes in the movie with Sarah Jessica Parker, and they're doing all the weird Frankensteinian
Yeah.
body horror stuff. There's
Mhm.
actually in the background, there is a clown trapped in one of the balls. In one
Oh, I
of the,
missed that.
yeah, there's a clown trapped in one of the balls.
But that's
And
because you guys did that clown move.
Killer
Killer
Clowns.
Clowns, right?
Now,
Yeah,
Lisa,
so
you
you're
won't find-
already like searching.
Lisa, you
for
won't
clowns.
find that's a good one. Lisa,
Searching
you
for
need-
clowns. That
Lisa-
sounds like something on a naughty site, Lisa. I'm searching for clowns. I'm looking for clowns with big hips.
I want
Lisa,
that big nose. The
I'm
big
telling
nose.
you, watch Killer Clowns with us. I'm telling you,
Oh,
you would love Killer
No,
Clowns
I'm
from
good.
outer space with us.
that's okay.
Come on,
No,
like I
no,
said,
no,
you need to do mind dumps too.
I
It's
don't
Lisa
do
would-
mind dumps.
Lisa would not like the Howard Vernon scene, the ventriloquist
No.
scene. You know the one I'm talking about.
Oh,
Lisa would not
yeah.
like that at all.
Hey, Joe. Hey.
I can imagine.
Hey.
That's
Yeah.
good.
I love Howard
Well,
Vernon. He's a great actor.
yeah,
he
he
should have
was.
been in this movie.
That would have been a good one too. Yes, exactly. So, oh my goodness. So, what other? You see, a lot. This is a movie that's to me is all about scenes, and the scenes tie together to the overall, effect of the movie. You know,
Well, we're missing the trailer park family or whatever. Lucas Haas's.
Oh yeah.
parents
yep.
and
I'm
Jack
working on
Black's
that too. Yep, I'm working
You
on
know,
that too.
they're like
Yeah.
polishing the guns, and I love how the mom was like, "You ain't taking the TV."
Here we go.
Yeah, yes.
Here we go. We got Billy Glenn or Glenn Bill. Yeah, he's right here. Jack Black. God, I still can't believe that was Jack Black.
Yeah, he's so young.
Joe Don Baker. Look at the
Yes.
count. I mean, you got
Who
Joe
was
Don
Mitchell?
Baker.
Joe Don
Yeah.
Baker.
we
Mitchell
got
from
Sylvia.
MST3K.
When you sit there and realize who was in this cast, who played the mom? I forgot.
I have no idea.
Oh, Sci-Fi
There's not
Mombi.
familiar.
I love that song, and thank you for that joke.
What's that?
Oh my God. That is a brilliant joke. Thank you, Mombi.
I mean, Clowns
Oh.
11. Okay. Oh, that one. I thought she'd Killer Clowns.
Stuck in the middle
We're
with
gonna-
you.
We're going to talk about the giant robot walker too. Yes, we will.
Oh, that was in the cards. That was in the
Really?
62 cards. Yes.
Yeah,
No, that's an
wow.
important point. Yes, that was one of the most popular cards in the card set in 1962. So that's again Tim Burton
Remind me of
showing this.
from Star Wars.
Yes.
they might
It looked like it.
stole it.
Yes, and that is why I can't believe Burton was so accurate to this, and yet he was such an asshole in Batman Returns with a penguin. It's like, oh, are these two men living
Okay.
in the same body?
Okay. Olan Jones played the mom.
I don't know that name.
I have no clue who that is. So, but yeah, there was not anybody famous.
But don't take the TV.
I know. I love that. Hey, you don't touch a Southerner's television or even
Nope.
the
Don't
Midwest.
take
You
the
know?
TV.
Yeah, beware of the internet. It's a place full of naughty clown-seeking Australians. You
Look, you don't get to make fun of me until you send me what I asked you to send me in order to get you that Vegemite Masters. You
Yep.
know what I'm talking about. You gotta send me how to address this package to you, because it's going to take me 30
Yep.
bucks in taxi to get to the post office and 30
Well,
bucks
I'm
back.
intrigued. What's going on here?
look at the.
What are you trading Vegemite for? It's got to be good.
Yeah.
Look, the man knows how to cook. He's
Yep.
shown that he knows
That's
how to
right.
cook on this channel beforehand.
Yes.
But I'd also like to just point out that there was a profound line, a profound piece of dialogue in this film. Didn't I always tell you, honey? If I stayed in place and never spoke up, good things are bound to happen.
Yeah.
It was one of
That's
the
Paul
quotes I wanted
Winfield?
to say. Paul Winfield, yes, General Casey. And you know,
Ain't that the truth?
as soon as I heard that, I thought of one person, Lisa. Like
Me?
that would like. Well, no,
What
then
are you
it probably
talking
was.
about?
It was probably the line that you hated the most, like butt
Oh,
kissing general
no.
guy. I could just hear you coming down on that. I'd like,
I was like,
no,
oh,
no.
you bureaucrat.
Yes, exactly. The bureaucrat general. By the way, there's the TV in the background that was worth protecting the trailer over. So
And
That's right.
you notice they're all like little 1962 portable televisions
yeah.
in this movie. Oh,
Oh, rabbit ears, folks. If you're
Yeah.
young, these are called what they call rabbit ears.
Mm.
So
This is an instructional stream as well.
yes,
And
this is
entertaining.
a historical time capsule.
That's right.
Exactly.
And also regarding something else that I don't know if it was Lisa or Dadman who brought it up earlier, the translation device. Now, when they're translating from Martian to English, and this is something for the missus, right? It is as hilarious as when you translate directly from Japanese to English.
Yeah.
Just using a translation device, and it's like, oh, what the hell?
It's
What?
a bit butchered. Yeah.
By the way, here's the scene with that quote.
Yeah, there we go.
Yes, right there. He's on this fun making smoosy foos to his wife and all. Then turns and looks at the soldier like, "Don't say anything," But it was like, it was hilarious. This is kind of was it Apocalypse Now? Because you got the Flight of the Valkyries, you got all these choppers coming in behind the Jeeps on the ground.
It was a good look.
Yeah.
It is. I mean,
It
honestly,
helped make it authentic a little bit.
I mean,
Unreadable.
Yes. Thank you, Mrs. But the other thing was that although this movie was a comedy, one of the things in comedy that makes comedy funny is when the characters, and this is a comedy term, are playing it straight. They're being deadpan. They're being totally serious. And so you have this part of it with this brilliant actor playing it totally straight. But Tim Burton, with the help of a cinematographer, is visually playing it straight. I mean, if we did not know the context of this movie, this looks like a war movie right here, a serious war movie from the 50s or the 60s. And that's what makes it funny. And I love that. I adore that. Well done, Mr. Burton. Even though I hate you for all of your other films, aside from Beetlejuice, well done, Mr. Burton.
Nightmare Before Christmas was okay.
But he only produced that. He didn't write it.
Well, it was good.
It was good. He had an influence. I'm just saying. I'm looking.
All the rest is shit.
I don't want to be. I'm not trying to be a dingus, Lisa. I'm just saying that I'm just looking at directed or had influence on script. I'm just being specific. That's all.
I mean, a lot of this stuff is bizarre. It just.
Speaking of bizarre, let me show that one scene. Go back to
Planet of the Apes.
with the character.
Oh my God.
Look, because like you were saying with the body.
Yes.
Like you were saying with the body.
That's a card. That's a 1994 card, which was 2 years before this film was made. So Burton, again, is paying attention. He paid attention to the 62 cards, but he also paid a little bit of attention to the 1994 Topps cards. And I mean, this is just a great. It was so creepy when you saw it in the theater. Don't you agree, Dad Man? When that head comes off. Ooh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, it was really cool. Well, what was creepy was when she bit off the finger.
Yeah.
And
the
then
special
just
effects
spit it
for
out.
that was really good.
And then spit it over into the fishbowl like nothing happened. Then the fish attacking the finger.
Yeah.
Was really, really cool.
Oh, I got notes on that. But you keep going. I got to find that note.
Yeah. Oh gosh, you got notes everywhere. Notes to the left of me, notes to the right of me. But see, we see the aliens come back. That's what Lisa's saying is she's stuck in the middle of us too. But but see, this is the aliens. The Martians make over everything. We got Mount Rushmore, which Mount Rushmore we saw last year in person. I'd love to go back, but still, this is kind of cool. This actually kind of looks better in a way.
Yeah.
I mean, it's actually a really funny joke.
I'm kidding with you, but it's really, really cool with as a funny joke that they got here. But you also have one of the things is that it was a true travesty of this thing. Is and I think you said the quote a little while ago, Hungry.
Mm-hmm.
What the damn donut shop do to anybody? Come on.
Come
on, guys. Why did you have to blow up the donut shop?
And I'll tell you that real donuts, Mr. A, you're just killing me.
Brain lobes. Oh, by the way, before we go into donuts, let's take this real quick.
Can I have a big note for this. I have a big note.
Hold on. Let's come back to donuts. Only because
real
I
donuts.
don't want to.
Not Australian donuts.
Well, damn, Georgia with this place. I want to go visit my kid again to see because I'm trying to find the right close-up look because there's brain lobes because you could see it if I can just get the right picture with one of the.
I had one on Tweety for you.
Crap, but it's Let's see if we can find one right. Now we got people kissing. We got that, of course. We don't get good brain lobe views.
Well, the problem with
But-
IMDb
but, let me
is
go
that
right
now
here.
they're removing things that they used to
Yeah.
have, and they're adding things they don't need.
The brain lobes were right in here, and they used to hang. Okay, they would
Yes,
hang.
those are in the
because-
cards.
Right, because I tell you what, we see what they were really like. Mr. Angel needs to cool off for a minute, but we see when the Martian ambassadors has a Playboy magazine.
Yes,
He's watching it. You see those things like just jumping all around, so
wiggling and
Obviously-
jiggling, wiggling and
Wiggling.
jiggling.
so yeah, those brain
speak-
lobes.
But speaking of wiggling and jiggling, I would
Yeah.
like to go back to the fish tank scene in the Kennedy room.
Yes,
for a
okay,
moment.
let's do that, and then we'll hit the donut shop.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Because I'll be quiet when we talk about donuts, because I can't get real donuts in this country. But the Lisa Marie scene, and bearing in mind that she was married to Tim Burton at this time, I think was super spooky sexy as the Martian Babe spy, because one thing that some people don't recognize is she doesn't blink once, even when there's a shot that goes on for more than 15 seconds. She controlled herself in that. She doesn't blink. And then we have, like I said, they're mixing in the 50s and the 60s and 70s. There is a moment, and I can tell you the exact moment in the film. It is at 1 hour, 1 minute, and 29 seconds, where you hear sitar music, like George Harrison from the Beatles, sitar
Hippies.
music. Yes, hippies.
Hippie.
And that was a great little detail that a lot of people don't catch. And then the body language with, as Mr. Angel and I were talking about, the little snaky arms moving back and forth. And then we have the visual subtext, because subtext is different than text. You have the visual subtext of the fish in the tank, and they were exotic fish. And Martin Short is trying to catch, sexually speaking, an exotic fish. So you
Nice.
have the
I like it.
fish. Yes, you know what I'm talking about, Lisa. And then you have behind the fish, Lisa Marie, and she slowly, hip to hip, boob to boob, arm to arm, sways out from behind the fish to in front of the fish, and slowly sits down in front of Martin Short.
But did
And
you
he's
see the
thinking-
part where Martin Short jumped onto that round bed? I mean,
Yes!
Oh yes,
it did not bounce at all. It looked like it was a hard surface.
Yes. And,
Like
and
thumb.
he wanted a hard surface, and he got a hard surface.
Well, he
But
did,
it
but
was
the bed
a lot
looked
more hard than
uncomfortable.
that.
I mean, the bed looked good. It was nice and circular. The mirror.
Well, I don't think it was intended for sleeping. So usually sleeping, you want a comfy, bouncy mattress, but
Well,
But I mean, it was wonderful, and that bed, I hate to say this as a '70s kid, right? Born in the '60s,
By
raised
the way,
in the
Lisa,
'70s. There were beds
Lisa, this
like
one's for
that,
you.
and I saw them.
this is what Lisa was saying. The way he pulled
Yeah.
off the creepy look.
Yeah, like he's such a sleaze bag.
But
Pulling
look-
up the
look at- this is-
hookers and weren't there 2 hookers that he rolled up on?
Three,
The first-
three,
Yeah.
Oh, there were
three.
3.
and
they're
that one
so
in the reflection is only
ugly.
one of them. Only one
Yeah.
of them.
Yep.
And she was like an Italian actress who was playing Hispanic in this one. Can't do that in Hollywood anymore. But
Well, Lisa Marie though, it was like jackpot compared to those. 2.
Oh, yeah.
Jackpot! I haven't heard that in years. Oh, bless
Jackpot.
you, Lisa. Jackpot!
I'm gonna shut up.
Well, wouldn't you agree?
I am
mean,
gonna shut up.
No,
What?
I do agree. And the other thing too, and Lisa will understand this reference, and some people won't. But the design for Lisa Marie in this was also very, very Jane Mansfield, and you
Yes.
know who I mean.
I totally agree.
All right. I know who Jane Mansfield is too. I do know that. So I said that in the private chat. So all right. So well, let's get back to a good old donut shop. So let's see what.
Well, I mean
'cause this
that's actually an in joke too,
But
because the Martians.
I don't
do
think
the
Henry
sign
saw
of the
what I
cir-
put in the private chat, but
I
know
anyway,
I
saw
did.
it.
I did,
Yeah.
I did.
Okay,
But the Martians
Was it
do
named
well,
Jack?
the hand of the. They do the hand
Mr.
motion of
Angel-
the circle.
Well, Mr. Angel's saying the donut shop,
Yes.
there's an ode of aliens, always going for
Yes.
iconic landmarks first. Donut shop is a worldwide phenomenon. You find it even games. And yes, you're right. The grandson, Richie, he said, oh, it's that symbol of the donut, you know,
Right.
the circle. And you notice General Casey, one of the things when he couldn't communicate, he did go the circle.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
which I don't think meant what everybody thought it meant. I think that was probably a Martian domination symbol after looking at it. You know, is what
It was that the hands straight up at an angle with the yes, you know what I mean. It's like bow down to us.
yes.
You will embrace the circle.
Oh, Pirate Girl Trish is saying that they used it in Earth Girls Are Easy too. Awesome.
Yes, funny movie, very funny movie.
Wasn't
Nice
Iron
reference.
Man sitting in a donut?
Yes, good catch, Lisa.
But
Good
that
catch.
was LA donut, right? That
It
was in
was-
Los Angeles. That
All I
Tony
know is
Stark
it was a
sitting
better
in a
donut shop than we have here, Lisa. That's all I know.
And I felt bad for Lucas Haas's mom getting like here, Mom, here's some donuts. Well, what day are they from? Monday.
I know.
Oh, okay, I'll eat them anyway.
I know.
Like a week
I mean,
old
that
donut.
is
Gross.
actually, to back up, Lisa, this is one of my only complaints with the film. Is I'm going to sound a little bit progressive here. I apologize,
Go
but
for
No,
it.
don't. Just say we're talking about movies.
but
Go ahead.
the thing is, they were kind of trashing on trailer park people, and sometimes
yeah.
people only live there because that's all they can do, and they sometimes live better before they moved into the trailer park. So that is one of my only complaints. I think Burton was being a little bit classist.
A little heavy-handed.
No, I think he was making fun of poor people. And you should never make fun of poor people just because they're poor. You can make fun of them because of other character traits.
But hungry.
But-
In the end, it was the poor people with their
Yes.
crappy music that saved the day.
That crappy music. Oh, God.
They saved the day in the end.
poor people. Poor people
Well, that-
piss me off.
That would be
Keith
like
Burton.
me saving the world against aliens using Gordon Lightfoot music. But yes,
Well, yeah.
you know what I mean, Lisa. The Wreck of the Edmunds Fitzgerald.
Oh, I like that song.
I love that song too. I mean, honestly, I love Gordon Lightfoot, but I recognize a lot of people, including
much as
Riff
you,
Tracks,
Duran
hates
Duran.
them. Ugh.
Let's
But
not
we'll
get on
see.
Brandon. We could talk on that for an hour.
I know. I know. Actually, we're owed. We got to do a music stream soon. 80s music. I don't. You might have got in late on the chat of that one, but that was a
Yeah.
riot we had, and that's another thing I got to step down the road because
Yeah, like if
we
you're
went
gonna
so
do
crazy on
80s
the 80s
music,
music.
if you're gonna do 80s music and you're gonna get me into Duran Duran, you got to do at least one Jay Giles song, dude.
Which
At
one?
least in those- freeze frame, freeze
Freeze
frame.
frame. But there's also Centerfold. Don't forget Centerfold.
Nyeh.
Huh.
That one was too overplayed here in Australia. That one was too overplayed. But
Look,
you know,
don't blame me for your national problems, okay?
Look, if you come over here and you teach Australia how to cook good grits, I'm fine.
Yeah. Absolutely. And see, here some of our background characters in here did a lot. See, here's the French president.
Yeah.
We've got it. They signed a treaty. We got him.
They
We
should have
got-
had Patrick Stewart doing the French president.
I think that might have gotten a lot of applause when he got eliminated. But hey, but also you got that's the Secret Service agent was really, really good. He really, you felt bad when he ended up getting, he jumped in front of the laser cannon. He comes
Yes.
in to save them when there's a
Yes. And he's a great character
what
actor.
happened?
He's got a lot of credits on the IMDb. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And also because you love
Yes, Master.
war. Oh, yes.
Yes.
Because you love the military stuff.
Oh, look at this
damn
one. Country Jodel is not our weakness. So far, Yoko Ono is the one stopping our invasion. What the hell is that thing she does with a microphone?
Oh,
Oh,
dear
boy.
God. Oh dear God, Mr. A, I'm gonna have to send you a link to something I did with Yoko Ono jokes. My God, that woman,
And-
that woman to the microphone is like Discovery to Star Trek.
But look at
Oh.
this other things with the movie. See, you got all these people now. Of course,
Yes.
all the citizens are placed in between the tanks and the Capitol building.
And that's a
You know, it's
television
like-
joke. That's a
It's
live
like,
TV
no
joke.
applause, but it's not just that. Not just that. No birds.
Yeah.
It's like that was a great I think add on here. But they put the people between the tanks and the Capitol. It was like, what the heck? What the
Well,
heck, folks? But yeah. Because so when they
I-
started firing,
But what this leads up to, and I'm very glad you showed that, is
Mhm.
that there is an old military tactic called the Trojan horse, and you
Yep.
can do that physically or you can do that politically. And the tactic of the ambassador of the Martians wanting to apologize to Congress just so he and his two aides, two assistants, can come in and then blast away Congress was actually great screenwriting. It was good screenwriting, and I
yeah,
admire
I
that.
agree. I agree.
But
Yeah, I'll-
okay,
Go ahead.
with that point, I mean, early on, it was the scientists were like, "Well, they're intelligent beings, so
Yeah.
they have to be peaceful and
Well,
well-meaning,
yes.
just like we are." And that was a theme that the Martians quickly said, "Nope, we're here to destroy you all. We're having fun
Mm.
experimenting on you. We're having fun blowing you up. We're having fun
Yes.
laser beaming you." I mean, the Martians were having a good old time.
Yeah.
You know,
They were
we're
laughing,
gonna
acting all over the place.
act,
Yeah.
act, we're gonna trick you. We're gonna get into your places of power, and we're gonna
Yes.
blow you up.
It was an Irish pub
Well-
fight, Lisa.
But you,
It
but you know,
was.
exactly.
But then here our scientists are like, no, they're peaceful. They must have misunderstood what I mean, we're so stupid in this movie. It's incredible.
But I mean, are we not stupid in real life?
Well,
Some
let's
people
not
say
go
that
there
type of
because
stuff.
this is a movie.
Yeah,
I know. Well, listen.
Because
Let's-
blowing up the Capitol was a good idea at one
Well,
point.
no,
But
in
now
the
we
movie-
can't do it anymore.
Yeah, you can't even talk about it. It's like
Lisa,
we had an
dear God.
Independence Day. Well, look. What was about 1996? Because wasn't Independence Day 1996? This movie was 1996.
Was it?
It's like, yeah,
They were
Wow.
coming out nearly concurrently.
Yeah.
Yes, I mean
Well,
within a
folks-
couple of years of each other. Yeah.
Well, let's look at some of the lines in this movie because, like you said, we talked about
Dialogue.
things, but the dialogue was really important in this one because, like what you said there, the humans are like they're peaceful. Maybe it was the dove, which I think was funny that the kid said that. Then, of course, when they blew up Congress, it was the same kid said, "Well, guess it wasn't the dove,"
Right.
or like when the Martian wanted
They
to
kept giving them excuses of why the Martians are the way they are.
Well, and the thing is like you see the first time when they communicated with Earth and they wanted to go ahead and meet and whatever, we see General Decker's the only one asking an objective question, just not going with whatever they were told. So and the Martian translator device, all green of skin, 800 centuries ago, their bodily fluids include the birth of half-breeds. For the fundamental truth, self-determination of the cosmos, for dark is the swade that mows like a harvest. And General Decker, again, you got the president like ooling, the professor's ooling over it, and leaves to General Decker to say, what the hell does that mean?
Right.
You know?
And
The
he was
one-
made out to be the bad guy because he
Yeah.
was like, I don't agree with any of this stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the one
Yeah.
that kept the sense of, he's the one that threw the cold water on the party.
Yeah.
Everybody
until,
else-
Oh, water.
until the first lady was like, let's get him. And he was like, let's
Yes.
go. Finally,
Uh,
somebody on his side.
But that was also part of the whole Doctor Strangelove thing. But when you're looking at Rod Steiger right before his character ends, I say in quotation
Sure.
marks,
Right.
but he actually saying we'll fight you on the beaches, etc. And that is
Yes.
taken right from Winston Bloody
Yes,
Churchill.
Yes. Yes, we will not surrender. We will not surrender. It's like, it's great. Well, one of the best lines that I loved in this movie, you already said about Hungry, was the have to do, and I'm going to get back to this to the quote in a second.
Okay.
But another one that I saw was Jack Nicholson after Congress got destroyed, when he says, I want the people to know, because he just chewed out General Decker, even though he had just apologized to him. But for some reason, insisting on this whatever strategy, he says, I want the people to know that they still have 2 out of 3 branches of government working for them, and that ain't bad.
Yes.
I thought that was hilarious.
That was almost a mockery of Kennedy. And I get
What?
I get where Burton was coming from there, and I actually like the line. I'm just saying that sometimes a joke is so good you don't laugh, you know?
Yeah.
And that was just a credit to you, Dan Man, for bringing it up. That was a beautiful section of dialogue in this movie.
Yeah, we don't need that legislative branch because they're a pain in the butt.
You should have written the script.
Executive
for this movie,
and judiciary. That's all we need. Get rid of these legislatures. You can't just agree with it.
So there are parts of this movie you like aside from hating it.
It's relevant.
I think this movie's going to be on her like Fifth Element was on you. That this is going to be one of the most treasured movies in her life.
This is still my most favorite to hate. It's just, I don't know how to describe it. It's so bad it's good. I mean,
yes, welcome to my life. I love bad movies that are good. They're so bad they're good.
One thing I'll give this movie is the pacing it kept you going.
Yes.
I mean, after an hour and a half or whatever, you're like,
do you know what the runtime on this movie was?
Was it hour?
1 hour and 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Hour 50 is what I saw. But
still, hour 50, okay.
But still, when I was trying to watch it at night, I thought it was like 90 minutes because most movies like this are like 65. I mean, it could be 75 to 90 minutes. This was like a solid 2-hour movie, you know. It really, really was.
And I think what helped was the ensemble cast.
Yes,
to have all these different characters that
and how movies sometimes jump scene to scene and actors to actors almost to where you can't keep up with them because it's too much and you're not getting anything. This movie, like you said, I think Lisa's had such a good pacing and didn't even though they had all these people, did a good job balancing them.
Right.
But also it did not have something I despise in movies, a lot of movies. It didn't have the second act lag. And that's where people think you have to slow down the movie and have this really sad part after the heroes have a victory, they have to have this massive defeat and come back from the defeat. This movie just kept rolling along and said, screw you and your script acumen and screw whatever you say we need to do in order to make a movie fun.
And they even had kids playing video games.
Yes.
And the training and being able to take care of a lot of the Martians because they were playing video games.
Well, let's look at some more of the islands.
That was in my notes, Lisa.
Yeah.
That was precisely in my notes, and thank you for saying that.
Video games are good for you.
Yeah. So
set up and payoff. They show the kids learning a skill, and then the skill allows them to literally. And I'm using that in the correct way versus the millennial way, literally save the president of the United States.
Because I'm going to get to a line in just a second. And then at the end, they're just pushing boom boxes through the street with the music playing. But listen to some of the other great ways. I love Glenn Close.
Those kids were great. They were two of my favorite characters.
I said with Glenn Close, I just was, she was so proper as that. The first lady, after seeing the Martians all the first time, I'm not allowing that thing in my house. President Dell, sweetie, we may have to. The people expect me to meet with them. Firstly, they're not going to eat off the Van Buren China.
Right.
Yeah.
And then later in the Vegas, when everything blowing up and being destroyed, the Martian translator device, don't run. We are your friends.
Yeah, stay so we can shoot you.
But Lisa really gets that Van Buren China joke because a lot of people who are younger, they don't have China in the house. But we grew up, and if you were lucky, your family had a little bit of China that was for special occasions only. And it almost never came out of the cabinet. It was almost always on display.
Right.
Well, and the White House has a China room where it has a representation of every president's China pattern. And it's actually part of the tour when you go.
Oh,
see
how
if I
about
got-
this
Very
whole thing
cool.
with the tour? They wouldn't let the first daughter go.
Oh.
They wouldn't
Yeah,
let
because
anybody
there's
go
a
that way.
tour.
But even then, later
Oh.
when the White House was being invaded and stuff, the tour's still going on the
Yeah,
other side.
you
while all
can't
hell's
go
breaking
that
loose.
way.
It's like there's a tour. It's like,
Takes precedent.
That was
Oh,
hilarious. I
no,
laughed
no.
at that in 1990s, and I laughed at that when I watched it again. I think that is hilarious.
Yeah.
It's very much, although Shin Gojira came decades afterwards, it's
Which-
like the mockery of the bureaucracy.
Which
and I
did you
love that.
notice? The Martians were watching a Gojira movie
Yes.
to also
Yes.
as they were full scale invading. A couple of the other lines, as like at least it
catch.
said, "Wow, he just made the international sign of the donut."
Yes.
Richie tells Grandma, "I bet you're psyched about the Martians coming, Grandma. I mean, you've seen a lot of crazy stuff already. Everyone must have been real scared when they invented the train." And Grandma says, "Come on,
How
kid, I'm
old
not
is
that
she?
old."
Yeah, I laughed at that too.
There's
Oh.
see,
Yes.
there's some of the other
There was the visual though,
oh.
of the first lady pushing the guy out of the picture though, so she could have
Oh,
the
yes.
picture by
Yes.
That was
herself.
funny.
So that was a
I thought
visual.
Glenn Close was magnificent in this movie.
Yeah.
And
It's
I
like,
honestly,
oh no, the chandelier, and it lands and smushes
I,
her.
and,
Here's-
honestly, I wish he had more screen time in this movie. I really
Yeah.
do, because especially when she's talking to Natalie Portman and telling her
Yeah.
just to shut up.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I messed the line up from DeVito earlier. He said, "You want to conquer the world? You're going to need lawyers, right?"
Yeah.
So,
But then
Yeah.
also the
Oh.
hotel dude was like, we need hotels for these people to stay in too. I
Yes.
think he pointed that out.
Mr.
Yes.
Angel said the "don't run" joke caused a severe case of hilarious laughter with him. We just want to hug. Yes.
We just want to hug.
Here's the line. You said hungry. General Casey talking on the phone. "Hello, this is General Casey. I get to meet the Martian ambassador. Ain't that great? Oh, it's a hell of an honor. But didn't I always tell you, honey, if I just stayed in place and never spoke up, good things are bound to happen." Yeah, okay. Makes kissing
Yeah.
noises and hangs up the phone, then glares at the soldier next to
And
him.
5 minutes later, zap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the first lady who gets her in with the chandelier falling on top of her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nancy Reagan chandelier. Man, that thing messed her up.
But that
You
was
should have seen the
a
scene.
hilarious joke, and people of our vintage back then, we got the Nancy Reagan reference, and
Yeah.
and see, there's also the whole thing we grew up, we knew, where people were saying Nancy Reagan was running
Yeah.
the White House for the last year of Ronald Reagan's
Yeah.
presidency. So I mean, it's a hard joke, but it's a funny joke, and you have to really be aware to catch it.
Well,
And-
there's another comment that you had mentioned earlier, Hungry Boy, where the professor says, "We know that they're extremely advanced technology," which suggests very rightfully, so they're peaceful. An
Yeah,
advanced civilization,
exactly.
by definition, is not barbaric.
So is North Korea.
That's flawed.
I mean, my God, the idea that advancement is peaceful, that is just, I'm not going hippie here, but I'm just saying
Well,
that
see,
is historically incorrect.
and I
that's
think
why
that
it's
goes
so
where
funny.
Mr. Angel says, "I love how
Yes.
the movie never takes itself serious while
Yeah.
staying perfectly serious." Yes.
Yeah. Good way to put it.
Yeah, and I bet you would have had to appreciate that. So, what do you think, Marsha kicked the crap out of him? She says. And then of course we get Jim Brown at the end to free up the flight for all the plane getting out, and they go to jump on the Martians who didn't shoot him. He wanted to fight him. They would have fought him. He said, "No weapons, no tricks, just you and me, Byron Williams, the heavyweight champion of the world." So,
Well, I mean, since you're asking about things that we really liked about the film and also
Yeah.
involving dialogue, one of the things that considering my sci-fi movie acumen, including movies, there's a subgenre of sci-fi movies where heads are removed and then reattached.
right.
Okay, and there are 3 major movies aside from this one where that happens. You got The Brain That Wouldn't Die, you've got The Head, and The Man Who Saw the Future, although that has an alternative name.
Yep.
And they actually, Tim Burton ran with that. I mean, you got Pierce Brosnan, his head's gone. You got Sarah Jessica Parker, her head is gone and reattached. And he does it in such a humorous way. He's like, yeah, I love these old crappy movies where that's an aspect of horror, but I'm going to turn it into something entertaining.
Yeah, like a brand new relationship.
Yes.
A
And
love
Lisa,
story.
Lisa, you must have laughed. You must have laughed when Pierce Brosnan admits he had a crush on Sarah Jessica Parker's character, and her Chihuahua buddy does this little curtsy, like, "Oh my God, I'm so happy about that." It's just so hilarious.
Good for you two kids. Can't do much about it now. Can you?
The furries loved it.
Yeah.
Hey, there's Buddy Hepburn. We've
Buddy!
finally seen a Buddy Hepburn sighting.
Yes, I love The Thing with Two Heads. And oh my God, we needed that done by MST3K, buddy. The Thing with Two Heads is an amazingly bad movie. It's wonderful.
Well, let me go ahead and finish a few more of these lines because I could hear.
Oh, Masters! Oh, that is a deep cut joke there. That is a deep cut joke.
Yeah.
I'm more, you know what? I would make a counter joke saying Proust is better, but I'm not going to make that joke.
Well, let's hit a few more of these quotes as we sort of get towards the end. So, Hungry, make sure you got what you want to make sure you talked about. Folks in the chat, is there any scenes you want to talk about? Mr. Angels told us what he thought of it. So if you want to tell us your thoughts of the movie, what do you think? How do you like it? What you liked? Go ahead, please. Tell us now. You evaluate the movie overall and we'll read it. Barbara Land, do you have a drink in front of me? Because you never covered an alcoholic. He's like, you're an adult. Cope. Like,
Mr.
I knew
A.
Lisa would laugh at that one. I knew the love between a Chihuahua girl and Headless Brain became the stuff of cosmic legends. A cosmic
Chihuahua
Romeo and
girl.
Juliet.
Chihuahua Girl and Headless Brain should be the title of a new comic book.
Then they switched bodies. You know, got her head on the dog's body, and then the dog's head on her body.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know, and they actually have the woof woof from the Chihuahua down pat.
Yeah.
That was just great.
I'll tell you one thing: they ain't getting the TV.
No, they're not getting the TV. I honestly admit I do love Joe Don Baker in this movie because he's willingly playing a mockery of what people said his characters were in other movies, but they weren't. He's going along with it.
But I also love the way they made people look real lifely silly at times, like the reporters. The one journalist, dude, the Martians have two sexes like we do. Oh
that was a very risky joke at the time,
and especially if you look at how the character appears.
And they modulated her voice. It was a
hello for a minute cinema. You were able to make it.
They actually modulated her voice, so she normally would sound like this, and then they modulated it so she sounds like this.
Yeah, very hard to tell.
That was in my notes. I have it written down. I can show you a picture later, but that was, I mean, I was impressed that Burton would make that joke because that's not generally the way his politics work. So
well,
that
either
was
way,
impressive.
at least he had fun with it back then. For Menace Cinema, I'm glad you were able to cut loose for a few minutes. Good to see you tonight here with us tonight. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, after General Decker gets kind of told off, and they gave General Casey the job. You know, it's like the one guy that's trying to warn everybody is ignored. General Decker's shuts the door. Two officers out there. They don't know what the hell they're talking about. Liberals, intellectuals, peacemongers, idiots.
Yes.
And Taffy pokes her head up. Would you please keep it down?
And that's also very Dr. Strangelove. That's also very Dr. Strangelove.
But then she comes out. Would you keep it down? People are sleeping. People live here.
Yes.
Well, for Menace Cinema, our secret safe. I lurk a lot of times at work when I can too. Thank you for spending your time here.
I need to bring up one line in the movie. That
wait. Yeah, Jack Nicholson. Yeah, and that speech on top of the hotel. Even in a time of intergalactic crisis, people still want to roll them bones.
But there was one real sports line in this movie, dialogue, and this is for you and Lisa, okay? Because you guys are more sports than me, but I caught it, where they said it is the Quaker in Jamaica, and I thought that was hilarious.
Yes.
I have rewatched the Rumble in the Jungle like 7 times in my life because I'm a big Muhammad Ali fan, okay? But the fact that they said the Quaker in Jamaica was hilarious.
But you know what? One of the great scenes was like all parents do, you know, she hadn't seen the kids in 2 days, and she's driving her metro bus around, and she sees the two kids in the arcade.
Yes.
And then she stops the bus. The kid's like, "Oh man, it's Mama." Or she says, "Excuse me, folks, we got to make an unscheduled stop."
Yes. Yes.
"Oh man, it's Mama. What are you doing here, huh? If you ain't gonna come home, why aren't you in class, huh?" "Mama, because class was canceled." "Class was not canceled." "Yes, it was." "Well, you come here for what?" "Come here. I'm not gonna hurt you. Come here." Let go of him. "Okay.
Yep.
Well, just come here. Come here. Do you think," and she grabs both of them, "do you think you're smart to cut school, huh? Do you? What are you doing? Do you? Huh? No, Mama, because it's dumb. You're going to flunk and you all go to jail." "No,
Yes.
Mama, no, we haven't." And it's like, get your own place. Get your butt on that place. Get on
But
the bus, boy.
she did
And then
not
the
smack
whole-
them.
No, she didn't, but she chewed them out, and the whole bus cheered her for that.
Right. But that was beautiful because
Yes.
that is like an accurate portrayal of the African American families, the Black families I knew at the time, where they're just looking like, I did not have these opportunities you have right now. You are not going to waste them. You are going home right now, then you're going back to school. You know, that was actually very, I think that was, it seemed aggressive, but I
Oh.
think that was a very sensitive moment from Tim Burton in that movie.
Absolutely. I thought it was. But hey, I
That
came
was good
across
parenting.
Yes, it was. But I came across your quote for General Decker from Rod Steiger.
Oh, yes.
"You think you can do anything you want? You can't, because we are human beings, and we have the United States Army that'll fight you to the last man and will never surrender. Do you hear me?" And the shrinking range, so his voice goes a higher pitch. "We'll fight you on the beaches. We'll fight you in the streets. We will never, never surrender. We will win. Democracy will survive. We will never, ever surrender. We will win. The eagle will be triumphant." And they got crushed. That was actually a great death.
Yes.
That, to me, was a hellacious, heroic death compared to damn Han Solo.
Oh,
And,
don't even go there.
No.
That movie has absolutely nothing
But
to
I'm
do with
talking
this
about
except for Padme Amidala.
But I'm just talking
Amidala.
about a good screen death. You know,
Yes.
that's the
But
way you
don't
go out
bring in
heroically.
Star Wars.
I'm not going to
Totally.
dwell on it. I had to just kind of go with a bad screen death versus a really good one in a comedy movie that it's like it's got
You
half
went
the
there. You went
Lisa,
there.
he only brought that up to hear your angry voice, and you know what I
my
mean.
God. Everything
No, I wanna hear
circles back to Star Wars. Everything is compared to Star Wars. Enough already, people. Move on.
Yes.
Bark, 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 bark.
Bark, bark.
So
We need
all right.
assistance in aisle 1. Clean up in aisle 1.
So
Clean up my eye,
now I
that's
know
good.
why I would screen humans. That's the crispy part.
Ew.
Oh gosh.
I would
Artland
like
said.
to-
Artland
But
said
I
also.
agree, it was a good death.
Yes.
Artland said, "I am not a crook. I'm ambitious. There is a difference."
I would like to bring up one aspect of this film and hear Lisa's opinion on it and your opinion of it, because we have on your channel, Dad Man, on many occasions, you have brought up the bemoanable lack of pew pew. And I would say this film has more pew pew per minute than many other movies. And I think that your pew pew addiction would have been perfectly satisfied by this movie.
Oh heck yeah. Yeah, there's plenty of PP, and the graphics were really good
Yes.
at the time. The deaths, the burnings. I'm not going to show the pictures, the images, only because you never know what
Yeah, well,
people
yes.
do stuff nowadays. But the way they dissolved,
Yes.
they just melted and they dissolved, and even the bones turned green in most cases.
And also
And they glowed.
some of them
Glowed.
went red, and so you have
Mhm.
green and green and red was a motif because Tim Burton was intending this to be a Christmas movie, and there yeah, no, I'm
Wow.
not joking, and so he had the guns be green and red for a lot of it, and he had the corpses after they were roasted be green and red, and that is his Tim Burton perverted, deviant, messed up bullshit, but incredibly funny tribute to Christmas.
For Christmas.
for his
Oh,
movie.
Wow.
boy. That is.
Now I do have. I'm done with the quotes. I'm done with the stain. I've covered
Yeah.
pretty much everything I wanted to, and we can hit scenes and we can wrap up soon. But if there's anything else y'all want to talk about, or people in the chat, if you there,
How
I
about
wanna
those glorious costumes right there?
Yeah,
The blue
they
and
are.
the purple.
sequence.
The purple blue, I mean, my God, the ambassador and the emperor, these costumes were
Now,
magnificent.
one question that I did
colorful.
want to ask y'all, the one question I did want to ask y'all, and I don't know if it was ever, I don't, I was torn about this movie about, did they really ever originally come in peace? And was it the bird that really truly started it all? Or
No.
was it well, hold on, let me
Heck
finish
no.
or was it an invasion from the beginning under a cover? Because what tells me there was an invasion all along was the one scene when after the first attack, they're like, the president sends the message like, well, we need to understand each other. We understand whatever. And then they looked at the message and they laughed and threw it away. So that's what
Yes.
told me it was really an invasion like, hey, we got these suckers.
Well, I mean, there's a visual, you know how I talk about subtext and visual clues all the time?
Right.
There is a visual clue to back you up on that, and I think Lisa will agree. The Martians often communicate between themselves with a ticker tape, just like on Wall Street.
Yeah. Yeah.
And therefore, they're not looking at emotions. They're looking at the bottom line. And they're looking at taking over the planet. So it was never directly stated in the movie, but it was heavily implied via subtext that there was never going to be peace between the planets. And also, why at the beginning of the movie, when the credits are still rolling, and this is something I love about the movie also, the color saturation of the movie, brilliant. That's the way a sci-fi movie should be. You look at how red Mars is. If you guys ever seen a picture of Mars as it really is, it's not red. It's like this dingy orange beige crap. It's just horrible. It looks like the Arizona desert on a bad week in summer. And so screw you, Mars. The real Mars, screw you. But the Mars in this film looks fantastic. It's blood red.
So,
I
Lisa,
love
did you think it was an invasion from beginning?
Well, I think the opening scene where the cows are burning and being cattle driven down the road, what are you putting those poor defenseless critters on fire for? I mean, it's just sadistic. And then I think throughout the whole film, you just saw, in my opinion, the Martians were just joyriding, having fun. They were
joyriding.
We could see it. They were, yeah.
They were using their technology and having a big joke out of it. And, they could have squished us like a bug if they wanted to, because we were too stupid.
Well, look at the way they didn't just get rid of Grandma.
The enemy.
Yeah, the grandma, the thing they were doing, Grandma, many other scenes, taking pictures at the Taj Mahal. Many scenes they were just bouncing around, missing around. So,
and the point I think that Taj Mahal is take a picture in front of it as it burns, not like the atypical, the loving couple in front of the Taj Mahal. No, exactly. I think they were sadistic and evil to begin with. It was just a few scientists and politicians and even army guys that were like, no, they're peaceful. We screwed up. It's always our fault that the human race is getting blown to bits because we're stupid.
Yeah.
So that's what I don't like about Tim Burton, but I think it works in this film.
I think it's actually a very subtle point of how we look at ourselves nowadays is that we always blame ourselves when it's actually has nothing, we didn't do anything wrong.
Well, that's a very good point, Lisa, because maybe Tim Burton was seeing the way we really were before we are admitting it now, and I appreciate that. But also to answer Dadman's question, the moment the saucers are seen leaving Mars during the credit sequence, all of them, they are in military formation. They're in triangular formation. And that is something that we have, but that's also something going back to War of the Worlds as it was written by H.G. Wells, where the Martians have this thing about being in threes. And a triangle is in threes. And so for the entirety of the launch sequence at the beginning of the film, we actually see triangles of the Martian saucers.
But you also see it with like World War II, old fighting formations. Usually, a lot of times were three. Leading two wingmen.
So. Yeah, and it seemed like every ship they had was being sent to Earth. So
so it was obviously It was
It
to
mo-
back you up, Lisa. It was obviously an invasion plan from the beginning,
Right.
no matter what.
Well, Mr. Angel's saying we also had to mention the Martian nuclear bomb. As Honorary mentioned, side joke. You know,
Nice.
the nuke goes up there and then so it comes out as like a trumpet vacuum bag or something. Just
Yes.
it explodes and then just sucks it all up. And yeah, then they do
That's
take
right.
it. They take drags on it. Remember?
Yes.
And like a helium
Yeah.
Oh no,
It's
no,
like-
no,
and the high
Lisa.
pitch talking.
Lisa,
after.
I hate to admit something I know about from the 90s. It's actually sucking nitrous. That's
Oh, is that
something
what
that
that is?
happened in the that happened in the 90s.
It made
That
me
was
think of the balloons with, like, the kitty balloons, and you breathe in the air and it makes your
Yes,
voice a
you
little
you would
higher.
you would take whippets and then you would attach a balloon to the whippet canister, and you would fill the balloon with the nitrous, and then you would suck on the balloon, and then you would talk to your friends. You get a really weird. I'm not saying I did this myself, but I was around.
I
people
heard
who
you get
did.
a high from that.
Yes, you would get a high, but also the thing is it relaxes the vocal cords, so your vocal would drop like
I
2
didn't know.
octaves, and you would sound like this, or even deeper than that. And it was a party game. It was a party game.
Well, folks, we are over 2 hours, so we're going to go ahead and start to wind down. Put in what you think about this movie. Mr. Angel has. We're going to talk about what he viewed. Tell us what you think.
Yes,
A, B, C,
I'll
D,
be right
whatever
back.
you want to rate it, and things alike. But Hungry.
Wait,
This-
I'm back. Okay, then I just got to open a window because it's very
so
humid
now,
here.
Mr. Angel, before we start to close and see what everybody's final thoughts are with this and get ours, Mr. Angel said we got to talk about the big giant robot walker. You
Yes,
know,
it was perfect. It was
that was
exactly
really
like
cool
the
scene.
cards. Exactly like the cards. Yes.
You know, it took out mom and dad in the trailer park, but then it's like, he couldn't take that right turn, almost like the Imperial Walkers, like you had talked about earlier. That sharp turn it couldn't take that sharp turn. It gets tripped up, caught in the wires. It was really interesting, but the first thing I thought was like the Iron Giant in a way.
Oh, this was
Okay.
way before the Iron Giant.
But I mean,
Way
it looked
before.
like it though. But in a
Yes,
way, it
yes.
looked, so. Was this?
But you have to remember
this
the
movie.
card. The
this
card was
after,
from 1962. The card
Yeah.
with that robot was 1962. So
Yes, and then Mr. Angel's put in a disclaimer: seriously, do not inhale anything.
yes, it
Oh,
it
no.
actually causes
Yeah.
severe brain
Exactly.
damage.
Exactly.
That's why it is no longer
Yeah.
used as an anesthetic in dental practices,
Right.
which is where it was mainly used.
Well, Jerry is saying there was this movie before. Are you talking about the '89 Batman? Because if you're talking about the '89, it was 7 years after
Well, yeah, this was made in
So-
'96, right?
'96. Yeah.
And it was in production for about 2 years before.
No,
that,
Masters, it's not that you just got warmed up. Well, we will be going into overtime with some Fortnite tonight, I think. So.
yes. Masters.
So we're still going after this, but folks, tell us what you think. Give us an honest thought, because like Mr. Angel said, the sheer funsiness of the movie, he gave it 10 out of 10 for laughs. So Hungry Boy, what? Oh, Hungry snuck out. Go ahead.
Sorry, I had way too much coffee before the stream. I have to be right back. If you know what I mean.
That's like studying, and I say we need daggone potty and stream chairs.
You old
We
man
don't
and
have
your
to get
bladders.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah.
it's terrible. It's
Don't
terrible.
worry.
You
It happens to us girls too.
oh, I don't want to say I'm glad to hear that, but I
You're
feel
not alone,
reassured.
bro.
I'll be right back.
All
Yeah.
good.
So Lisa, what do you think? Lady V Elements, hey, good to see
Hey,
you.
Lady B.
Yeah, we're in the last few minutes here, but like I
We're
said, we're going to be
wrapping it
having
up.
we're going to have a Fortnite party after. So
Yippee.
yippee! And I don't know if the missus will play. We'll see if the missus will play. Get both of y'all on together. And I mean, with Lady V out in the chat, all filters are gone after dark. But hey,
Uh-oh.
yeah, it's a riot of a time.
What
Now,
are
Masters,
you up to, mister?
it's not me. It's she likes my unicorn tail.
Oh, hell no.
She loves my unicorn tail.
Oh, has Lady V heard the song?
Oh yeah, she loves the song.
Oh, we
Thank
need
you,
to
Lady V.
talk.
Lady V is my favorite viewer now because of that.
Oh, and I'm on your shit list now because I hate it.
I don't care. You still play with me, So hey, Well, let's see what the chat master says. 9 out of 10. I love it, but Mel Brooks is just a little more over the top in this genre.
Mm,
Nobody can top Mel Brooks. So,
gotta
see
find-
right there. I love the Unicorn Song.
Oh boy, oh boy.
For Minnesota, 8 out of 10. I love it. I feel it's underrated. A few minor flaws keep it away from reaching a 9 or a 10. Wow. That is a very solid score. So,
Well, for me and my taste, it's a bit quirky, and
since people are going on a scale of 10, let's go on a scale of 10 tonight.
yeah.
So
Well,
we
I'm
can
going to
pick it over.
explain my reason for why I give it a lot lower, because I'm not into slapstick. I'm not into
Right.
stupid humor or brain. What did you call it? Brain dumping, silliness, or
But Julissa, you got
that's
listen.
not my
I think you're.
style.
I think you're in secret denial because you hang around here so much and you're such a valued member of the channel on these streams all the time, and you give as good as you get because damn, you're funny.
Well,
Yes.
yeah,
And you give us some good stuff. It's like
it's not my favorite genre.
I know. I'm
It-
having fun with you though, Lisa. 'cause
I
it's-
am gonna give it a
Yeah.
5 out of 10.
Oh,
Okay.
that's good.
In comedy and comedic, I'll give it a 10 out of 10 for ensemble cast.
Mm.
Mhm.
I did like the sci-fi elements of it.
Mm.
It was quirky and fun. So I'll give that 8 out of 10. So overall, I'm giving it a 7.5 out of 10.
Ooh,
Wow.
that's higher
That's
than I
still a
thought.
a good score though.
I'm kind though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you are.
I'm a very nice person because this
Yes.
is a movie I love to hate.
And also, to be fair, I get the impression that you would prefer the the Marx Brothers over the Three Stooges.
That's hold up there. I liked the Three Stooges when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And the Marx Brothers for that matter too. I loved Harpo. How could you not?
Yeah.
But if you watch it too long, you get sick of both.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'll be honest. This is going to sound ironic. It's not, considering my love of this movie. I don't like farce. Farce
Right.
humor. I do not like pure physical comedy for the sake of physical comedy. I don't like Mr. Bean. I don't like the first season of Blackadder. I love all the other seasons of Blackadder, but I don't
Mhm.
like guys poking themselves in the eye, and
Right.
that's one of the reasons why this gets me in trouble with the Clubby Gang. I don't like the Three Stooges at all.
Oh,
It bothers the crap out of me. But when you have a film like this that balances the physical humor with the intellectual humor or the political humor, then I get it.
Mhm.
I
and then
agree
I
with
like
you
it.
on that.
Well, wonderful. Well, for
Because
Minute
it's
Cinema,
well balanced. I agree, Hungry.
Thank you.
well,
Lisa.
for Minute Cinema, saying the score is amazing too. Like we said
Yes.
earlier, perhaps one of the
Elfman.
best opening credit sequences ever, which is what we also talked about. Lady
True.
V also saw clips of it, remember, but it was creepy, strange fun. Yes, it is. Definitely is. Master says that Lisa's in denial.
What?
Oh, he said that I was asking a question. He says the man who
Oh
claims to run a
no,
sports
I
channel
know
that has
exactly what
nothing
I'm
to do with
dealing with
nerds.
here.
Yeah.
But
do you mean?
I have to say, you have to love Curly of the Three Stooges. Now,
Yes, I
Shemp,
do.
when Shemp was around, that was
Oh.
atrocious. So
Oh,
I
I know what you're talking about.
I get what you mean.
No, Lisa,
Oh.
Lisa.
He's coming to your
Slowly
defense,
I
Lisa.
stepped. Slowly I stepped.
I know that one. Yeah, inch by inch. Yeah.
All right, Hungry, tell us what you think of this one. Let us know what
Okay.
you think.
Please bear in mind, I despise almost all of Tim Burton's work. So this is a bit much for me to say, but I give this a 9.5 out of 10.
Wow.
A 9.5. And the only reason it is 9.5 is because the executives put the stomp on Tim Burton so he couldn't do exactly and entirely what he wanted to do.
Mhm.
And I would like to see what that movie would have been.
Oh,
But
okay.
it actually had been rushed. The production had been like stepped up by 6 months before he could put in the final cut. And considering the constraints he was under and the fact he was doing something he was best suited to do versus Planet of the Bloody Apes. I consider this to be his best movie, even compared to Beetlejuice. And I consider this a remarkably hard movie to create, especially with all the people he had to bring together. All the fact he couldn't do the stop motion animation he wanted to do. He had to stop sometimes in midstream and readjust because of the demands of the executives. I think this is a wonderful, magical movie, and I honestly, please forgive me, Dad Man, I love it as much as Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Oh my God,
do?
no.
I'm sorry, I do.
Wow, that's big.
Yes, that is
Right.
big, and I love Glenn Close in this movie. I really do,
Oh, I
because she
tell
knew
ya,
exactly what she was meant to do, and she went with it versus against it, and that's what a good actress
Well,
does.
here's another thing with this movie. There's two takes
Hmm.
that actually kind of embroils it in your mind. The ack. I mean,
Yes,
as soon as somebody says it, everybody says Mars attacks.
I know.
Mhm.
So everybody knows this movie because of ack. And the other thing is, anytime you hear the yodeling music,
Yes,
you're like Mars attacks.
yes.
You know, so that's one
Not
two
Slim
things that,
Whitman. We just think of Mars Attacks. Yes.
right. You relate those two things to this movie immediately. So that says a lot about the movie.
Let's see a little bit here.
What's
Lady
Masters
V,
will
Lady
defend you.
V.
Tim Burton is fun, according to
Mm.
Lady V. Mr. Angel might suggest an underrated sci-fi movie for the next one to Celestial Space Truckers.
I've
How about
seen that.
Space Mutiny? How about Space Mutiny? So
No,
Lady V
I like
says
Space
also,
Truckers. I
okay,
like Space
probably
Truckers.
a psychopath, but a fun psychopath.
Lady
uh,
V, very good.
Yeah, I'm just glad Depp wasn't in Planet of the Apes. Ed Wood is his best movie in his opinion, followed by Beetlejuice and Pee-wee's Big Adventure on this film. Oh,
I
he
wouldn't
did
say-
Pee-wee's Big Adventure? Wow, okay.
I wouldn't say Ed Wood is his best movie, but I would say that it is his most accurate movie.
Mm.
Because he loved Ed, and he loved Bela, and he loved
Yep.
that whole sequence of Hollywood, the Poverty
Yep.
Row films. He did love
Yep.
that.
All right. Well, folks, if y'all have any other comments, questions, or
What's
things,
your
or you
rating?
want to ring, I'm going to do it. I'm just giving everybody one last
Good.
chance while I talk. Because I
Okay,
wanted
Jack,
to
get
get to.
it out there.
Oh gosh, there you go. Space Mutiny. Yes, beautifully offer.
Yes.
The Rift Tracks did, where they used all the friggin' exterior scenes from Battlestar Galactica.
But
the
also
space battle
MSC3K did it before Rift Tracks redid it.
Yep.
And they're both the same teams. So the
Yes.
guys from Rift
But-
Tracks, all the guys from Rift Tracks
I'm
are
sitting
from
there
MSC3K.
horrified. It was like I'm watching Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah.
And it was a cheap South African movie. It was just crazy. But
It was
honestly-
a cheap South African movie, but there was great hula MILF booty in the movie.
Oh my.
Yep.
Sorry, Lisa,
There was
that was
some-
for you.
well, on that
Oh,
wonderful
boy.
note, I am going to say we still
Sorry.
got 14 people here with
Oh,
us. Thank
delicious.
you. Thank y'all for being here. Hit that like button, subscribe, all that stuff. We got to get back to against the algorithm. But who cares if we have nights like this?
We're
where
not
we have a
going
lot
for
of fun
3
laughing?
hours. We're
No.
not going.
No, because I'm going to go another 3 hours when we're done in Fortnite. I'm going all the way to
Okay.
2:30 in the morning, I
You're
believe.
so addicted to that game.
No, it's the end of season
End of the
tonight.
season.
End of season tonight.
Oh,
Gotta get
there are
it.
seasons
And,
in
and I've
Fortnite?
got I'm trying to get a Peter Griffin level thing
You
without
pay
having
for it, you gotta use it.
well, I'm trying to get to the last level with all the extra stuff
Sure.
of him, and I don't want to pay. I mean, I'm probably going to have to, but I want to give it a my best I can of not having to pay for it. Jeremy's here. Hey, lurking.
Hi,
Good to
Jeremy.
see Jeremy. How are you tonight?
Hello.
I've not seen Turkish Star
Hello,
Wars.
Jeremy.
Oh shoot! I nearly deleted Master's comment, but
Ooh.
yes, I'm glad you could get in here.
I saw
Thank you
that.
for
I saw
sharing.
that, Masters. I've seen that one. It's hilarious.
We
It
have
is
to get a
hilarious.
list of bad sci-fi type movies. Okay.
Oh,
My
Star
score-
Crash! Oh
Yeah.
my God, I love Star Crash.
My score on this one, I honestly put it at about, well, it's kind of surprising how much I liked it compared to Lisa, but I'm putting it at about 8.5.
Wow.
Not quite as
Wow.
high as
Yeah.
you, Hungry, but
Yeah.
it's very, very good. I loved it, but I see it had to really get to, although I loved it, I thought it was really great. It still falls behind.
It's quirky.
It falls behind Naked Gun and Airplane to me.
Oh,
And those are my
Oh,
9 and
yeah.
Those
And
are my
Police
9 and
Academy.
9.5 movies.
I agree.
Well, even Police Academy is probably an 8.
What?
Behind that. Yeah, I like Police Academy, but just because the less brain you use, the funnier it is to me.
No, that's not true.
Well,
No.
it just. I know, but see, I'm making hungry grown.
Oh, no.
Exactly. But no, I do. I do. Well, maybe
It's
if they had
quirky.
extra, it's quirky. I like it. Not saying that they're bad or anything.
No,
It's just
it's above 5.
I'm
That's
just
above 5.
yeah.
It is.
I am just just kind of. It's like the less brain power you use, the more gag type stuff. Usually a lot fun. A lot. Just it gets me. But I'm strange that way. So, but it's not bad. I mean, it's a good 8.5.
I can see the missus shaking her head in my mind's eye right now as you say that.
I mean, she might actually like it. So she might agree. So, all right. Well, we're going to go ahead and wrap up. We don't see any other comments. Lisa, Hungry, did y'all have any last points or things
Thank
y'all
you,
wanted to make?
man. It was fun.
Absolutely.
Loved it.
Yeah, absolutely. Hungry, any last thoughts?
Well,
any points that you wanted to do?
my final comment will be that I look at everybody who was brought into this ensemble cast, and they all recognize that playing the comedy straight meant it would be funnier, and that especially includes Big Jim Brown, right? He's not just Jim Brown. He has Richard Pryor referred to him Big Jim Brown, because they used to be friends. And you look at what Jack Nicholson did. He could have gone over the damn top, but actually he didn't.
He didn't Jack Palance it.
No, he did not Jack Palance it at all. And that made it funnier. And you look at Annette Bening, who normally I can't stand. I loved her in this film. You look at Sarah Jessica Parker, who normally I can't stand. Loved her in this film. And you look at everybody. I mean, Pam Grier, she could have had a bit more screen time, but still, she is a 1970s film goddess.
Well, she was very effective in the way she had it as a bus driver and stuff like that.
Yes.
It was very effective use of her.
She played Jackie Brown.
Yes, she did.
Okay. She's
and
beautiful.
she was also Coffee, the film Coffee.
Oh, okay.
And I mean, she's been huge since around 1972. And you have other characters. I mean, Martin Short, look, the guy's a nice guy, but he was not playing a nice guy in this movie. It took some guts to play that role as he played it and have his finger bitten off. That it's all wonderful. And I think it takes a really good team of directors and everybody else to allow the actors to do their best in this way in a film of this type. And so I applaud Mr. Burton and I applaud all of the cast for bringing this film to life.
Yeah, very well said.
Thank you. Of course, you were very eloquent as well.
Well,
I love what you had to say.
I saw Joker Torque.
Yeah, I'm killing that comment, folks. We do not need politics in our streams or anything
I was
like
going to
that.
say he's not allowed in the Oval Office with
no.
poopy pants. So
yeah, but we don't need jokes and comments like that. We're trying to have fun with everybody here tonight and stuff. So please do not do that.
No Oval
here.
Office.
Yeah,
no. I know.
I got.
But Mr. A's comment is very funny.
Yeah.
We can do
Although
that
Jack Nicholas was behind the Resolute desk, right? In this movie, it was beautiful set piece.
Yes.
With all the carving on it.
That is a point I'd like to bring up. The people who did the set designs for this,
Yeah.
the production illustration for this, magnificent work. The designs were.
Yep. Exactly. Yeah. So exactly. So yes, watching the Martian fail made species rethink our invasion plans. Your Martians are amateurs, Sai. All those humans killed, such a waste of good food. Grr.
That's because you're a Venusian and not a Martian, Mr. A. You know what I'm talking about. You love, Mr. A, you love the female principle. Therefore, you're Venusian and not Martian. Lisa gets that.
No yodeling.
Yes.
Yodeling.
Well, thanks, Dad, man. This was fun.
Absolutely, exactly. Oh, you wonder how we do it? Computer, beam aboard 8.1 million
Oh,
humans to the
no.
fridge, please.
Yeah.
No, Mr. A, no.
So, all right. Well, folks, thank y'all. Actually, I got to do some promotions. I'm going to come through here.
Yes.
Don't forget, after this,
Oh God.
Lady V must
God.
Lady V must be Alien 2. That was classified information. When you're cinema. Exactly. All right, so folks, of course, after this, we're going to be playing some Fortnite. How long we do not know. We'll probably be going. Well, we got 3 hours to get going, so we're on the clock. So as almost immediately, I will flip over to that. And Lisa, are you going to be joining me?
I believe so.
Okay, cool. And I'll see if the missus will join, and we may have somebody else. I don't know, but the focus is going to be on Quest to see if I can level it up. But listen, tomorrow night, 9:00, join us for the start of season 2, Time of the Hawk, 2-parter with Daisy Blossom, Hungry Boy, and JT Kirk tomorrow night. Buck Rogers, even if you don't know anything about the series, come, we have fun. We'll make it fun for everybody. So
those Sailor Moon
Exactly.
suits are not going to be popular with Daisy and JT. You know what I mean? What they did to Wilma was a crime.
Who they? Why are you talking about them? I'm the damn
Wrong
host.
show.
Damn, that was. Yes,
Sorry.
it's like you God. It's
I'm
like,
promoting your guests. That's promoting your show.
I know, but I'm about to blow a gasket already.
Everybody
'cause I
come
haven't-
here Friday and watch Buck Rogers with the gang. It's fun.
Exactly, and I
Thank
might
you.
blow a nut because of that.
Oh,
So-
Keep
blow
your
a nut.
nuts to yourself, mister.
All right, we're starting season 2. Hopefully this season and our wrap
That
up
killed
will
me.
end up at the end of April, and maybe I have something starting new in May. So we'll see what
Oh.
happens. Join us tomorrow night for that. We do it. What? Yeah, I don't want to blow a gasket. I referred to
Yeah,
something else,
Jeremy,
so.
close your ears.
Well-
Poor Jeremy.
But hey, at least you called that one a lot faster than the other one. But
Mm.
hey,
Well, some things I just let it die
Yes.
in
Let
silence.
it die.
Let it die in silence.
well, what we do not want to let
Like
die
Jack
is
Black in Mars Attacks.
exactly.
Yay,
And
Mrs.
the cart just fell
Birthday.
out. Yes, Monday night. Monday night at 8 p.m. It's the 60th birthday for Mrs. Dabman Walking, 8 p.m. Eastern. Join us for that. Come party, and she's
What
going to
day
do
is
some of my
there's no
games.
date on that?
I know I have the wrong slide again, but
Well,
it's
what's
Monday
the
night.
date? Monday?
Monday
Okay.
night,
Okay.
and we'll keep announcing. Well, I'll have the right slide tomorrow night, hopefully. But Monday night, 8 p.m. The missus, she's going to do some of the games we usually play, and something. Oh, you have something cooking for her birthday?
Mm.
Awesome.
Yay.
I bet it's good. So join us for that on Monday
That's a
night.
cute thumbnail.
Exactly, it is.
By
She
the
did
way,
it.
Masters, I bet you're not cooking spam for her birthday.
But you know what?
She wouldn't
But you know
deny
what?
it.
But she would like spam though.
Yeah, she
Hungry.
wouldn't hate it.
She would like it.
I
She'd have
want spam.
some, but then she'd want some
Yeah.
cake.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we
It's
eat
just
the cake.
the only problem with spam is the sodium content. That's all. That's the only
Mrs.
problem.
doesn't do
there
that.
is
Yes.
50% sodium.
That she
so
doesn't
you
do.
can have an option there.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly. So join
good, Mrs.
So,
See,
folks,
there
clear
she
your
is.
calendars. Even if you normally do stuff on Monday nights, clear it for this special
I
nighttime
actually-
celebration with the missus. Yeah.
I actually bought spam in honor of the Mrs. birthday. I'm going to be eating spam on that day.
Fine. If it's the full spam, make sure you have something to cut the salt because it is.
No, I got the
salty.
light. I had to admit, I bought the light.
Oh,
light
good,
version.
good. I think you'll like it. But griddle it till it's crispy.
Yes.
Yes,
It's going
exactly.
into the fry pan.
All
Good,
right.
good.
Exactly. All right. So we need to wrap this up. So you eat ramen, just fry it crispy, exactly like that. So also make sure you join us for that on Monday night at 8 p.m. Of course, Date Night, Fortnights happen. These are courtesy of Stunning and Brave Megatron. As Last Son of K, I wish he was here tonight because we love shouting him out. Stunning did the artwork. Last Son of K has called me Banana Peely, and a Banana Bond, and Miss Monkey Penny.
Yeah. By the
There
way,
are characters.
Mrs. says I ate ramen. Look, there's nothing wrong with ramen. If you add a little bit of stuff to it. You add a little bit of cumin, a little bit of hot paprika, and tiny
She
pinch
does.
of chili sauce and a
she
little bit
does.
of black pepper.
She
Well,
does
how
stuff
can you
in
go
in
wrong
eggs.
with noodles in a broth?
I know.
I mean,
I
it's
know.
so simple, and you can do so many things to.
And that's why people love it. Is
ramen.
it's
Yeah.
simple too.
And it's
So,
got a lot.
I like it plain.
Yes, Lisa. Yes.
I like it plain, where it's just in the chicken broth, the ramen, or in the beef broth. That's nothing wrong with that. I'm a simple girl.
Mm.
Good
all
stuff.
right. So All right. So we got that. We also got Sports Weekly. This is scheduled to start Tuesday night if things hold up. Next week's looking to be busy, but some of the alignment next week may change a bit depending on plans with Grandma Man Walking. But currently, this is scheduled to start Tuesday, where we're actually going to have a rotation of our guests of Sci-Fi Mommy, JT Kirk, and Whoopa Troopa. And we're coming up to a very busy part of the year for the sports year. So this coming up. So Fermented Cinema says, if you really want good ramen, come visit him in Japan. Mr. Angel says oyster sauce does miracles, and Mrs. agrees with that. So where we go with that. Okay, chill chats happen randomly. Fortnite funds happen randomly, which we're about to do. Late night with Dad Man and friends. Look forward to that. We're going to try to get back onto some schedules. We'll be, as we can do it, probably more weeknight type things. I got to talk to Hungry Boy. You know, I have to see how my work schedule goes. So and all that, but these are riots.
Also the dad mom thing. You got to pay attention to the dad.
Exactly.
Mom.
There's a lot going on. So, but yes, live streams and videos on YouTube.com, Twitch.tv, Dadman Walking 55, Twitter or X at Dadman Walking 55. If there's no G, it ain't me, as the missus told me. So it's different. So, and sesame oil at the end is yummy too. Okay. With that being said, everybody that's here, there's 13 great people. There's only one left on Twitch, but 12 over here on YouTube. Give me about 5 minutes. See me for Fortnite, and we will see what kind of spicy adventures we get into. On that note, everybody, thank y'all for being here, and love to hear your thoughts about Mars Attacks. We'll see you in a few. Bye, all.
Toodaloo.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.